Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Swirl to Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. All right, how's everybody doing tonight or today? it's not night yet. Um Guys, it's good to see you. I want to apologize for last night. Um I was having computer issues. I couldn't get my videos downloaded. Um it was a nightmare last night. I really wanted to do the show last night. I had it planned, but unfortunately, the program I used to download my videos and stuff was not working, and that's what happened last night. And I had a friend call me last night and say, "Hey, Brent, what's going on? Are you going to do a show tonight?" And I said, "I'm trying, but I can't get these videos downloaded." And I just was pulling my hair out, looking at the screen, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I got to go live." But I was just having too many issues with the computer, and so I had to reschedule so I could figure out what's going on with the program or my computer. But I found another program to download my videos that works really well. I was using the YouTube downloader, which worked awesome till last night. I don't know what happened, and maybe it was like a update thing that maybe did something. But I'm looking into that. But it's worked wonderfully till last night for some reason. Last night was a headache. Last night was depressing. And I apologize for you guys for not coming on last night when I put it out there. But I just couldn't get the stuff downloaded. And I want to give you a quality show, at least something you understand where I'm coming from. I didn't want to just come up and just talk. But I got it working today. So everything's good to go. I want to share something with you before we get started. And this was beautiful this morning. I was upset because I was having trouble with YouTube. I was down in the dumps and I was just all over the place. And I've been working many hours at work, so I'm tired. I'm not in the right frame of mind, right? So I'm going through this stuff, and I was just disappointed. And my wife's like, you know what? Just reschedule it. And that's what I did. I just, sometimes you just, things happen, right? And, but, you know, everything worked out. I'm here today and I found out the problem. And, I'd much rather go live on a Saturday night than a Sunday. This pushes back my prayer meeting, which we'll have next Sunday. Um, it just puts a glitch in my whole schedule. But but something happened this morning. My wife, and she's so sweet. She's like, she knew I was upset and down, and I woke up this morning. And the crazy thing is, I was so tired. I woke up like 3 a.m. because that's what time I get up to go to work because I work really early. And I got up and it was like 3:50. Oh my God, I'm late. So I hurried up, got in the car, started, and I drove out of the driveway. I'm like, wait a minute, it's Sunday, I'm off. And I came back and my wife got up, what are you doing? I was just out of it. Okay. But that happened. So I came back in. I was like, oh, thank God I'm off. I could get some rest. So I went to bed. And when I woke up, my wife had an early Valentine gift for me today. Actually had two. And it made me feel better. I was not so depressed. But she got me this book. And you've probably seen this, right? She got it from TikTok, and it's a story about me and my wife. And you see me with glasses. I do wear glasses, not on YouTube, but both me and my wife have glasses. But this is like a storybook you could do. And hers was Brent, the 10 things I love, the 10 reasons I love you. Okay. And it was neat. It had a little story about our life and our love together, and it was really encouraging to see this. And I read it. It was a cute little Valentine's Day gift, which is super early because it's only the 2nd of February. Valentine's Day is the 14th. But she gave me this, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I read it, and she has shown me love. And then she got me this. Do you know what this is? My wife got me this. Okay. And sometimes my wife, when I feel down, she'll do stuff like this. I was like, oh, okay, American flag. It looks like a notebook. Is it a journal or something? Okay, that's pretty neat. But I opened it up, and this is what was inside. It was an iPad mini. And, on Christmas, I bought my wife an iPad mini, and she likes it. And I like it so much, I, mess with hers. But she bought me this and that book. And, and it's pretty neat. My old tablet, I had books I'd read off it. I watch movies too. And I like the iPad mini because when you travel, it's small and you can take it anywhere. And I got my wife one, and she really liked it. And she got me one for Valentine's Day. And I already downloaded Play Books on here because I read books on this. Ever since I learned how to read, I know that sounds crazy. I told you a story about my reading level after I graduated high school. But, I put books on my tablet and I put them on here. And I read books out of here. And, tablets are nice. You can do stuff like that, watch movies, read books, play games. And it's great when you're traveling. Um, but my wife was so sweet, and that really cheered me up because I tell you guys, I was so depressed last night. I couldn't go live, and I was having trouble. And I really wanted to do this show. And today, I think we'll have a good show. Okay? If you see the title, okay, it says Swirling Gone Wrong when Black women and white men failed to open up their options. Okay? And you'll see, and you've seen it on YouTube where people will make videos swirling gone wrong, divestment gone wrong, or whatever, to try to discourage Black women from opening up their options and to keep them race loyal and in that box. And that's why I want to do this live today and talk about what is really swirling gone wrong. Okay. Now, there are good and evil in all groups. Okay. There are. And a lot of times the swirling gone wrong jokers will find a case where they find some evil white guy with a Black woman and try to present it in a way like all white men are just evil, horrible people, right? And they'll use it to discourage interracial relationships. But, we could all play that game. We could find groups of people doing evil things. I could make a show, Black Love Gone Wrong, and show Black men unaliving Black women and stuff like that. I mean, I could play that game too. But most men aren't unaliving women, okay? But I just want to have a response to this. People saying swirling gone wrong is bad, divestment's bad. And no, it isn't. Okay? And I believe that swirling gone wrong is when Black women and white men fail to open up their options to each other. There are a lot of people that have found love that are of different racial groups, different ethnicities, and sometimes they're afraid to take it to that next step. They're afraid to open up to each other and show love towards each other because of the propaganda, because of the lies and the stereotypes. and people that fall in love and unfortunately discard their love because of society, because of family and friends, and because of what society says we should do. Okay? And it's unfortunate and it's wrong. Okay? And I'm going to show you some videos. And, I see on YouTube and I see people going on there. And this is a young lady that says, well, interracial relationships, only 1% do it. Well, 1 to 3. And, trying to discourage it. And what I say to that is, yeah, Black women, white men are least likely to come together. But when they do, they have success. They have the longest lasting marriages, and when they have the courage to come together with love and respect for each other, they have an awesome life together. They and I can speak for my life. Me and my wife, we've been married over 30 years. And if I would listen to these Debbie Downers out there that say, well, there's not that many doing this, so why do it? Stay where you're at. I wouldn't have found the wife I have. I wouldn't have the amazing marriage I have. My kids wouldn't have my kids. I'm just like, and if you look at it logically and you look at the truth instead of getting caught up in the segregated mindset and the politics of it and all this crazy crap. And just understand, people are people. And it's amazing how beautiful and amazing Black women are. And I found that out. I found it out because I was able to open up my options and have that courage. I wasn't worried about, is it 1%, less than 1%, 3%? I didn't care about that. I just knew Black women were the best option. And I wanted to be with a Black woman because of her beauty, and not just the outside appearance, but what's in her heart, her integrity, the way Black women carry themselves. That attracted me. I don't care if it's 0.0001%. I want the best option. You know, that would be like, okay, most people aren't millionaires, so why should I even try to be a millionaire? You know, that'd be like an athlete that works his whole life to play in the NFL or play professional hockey and give it his all. He wasn't thinking, well, less than 1% do it, so I shouldn't do it. No, he wanted that. He wanted to get to the top. You know, and he didn't do it because most people can't make it. He did it because that's what he wanted. And that's a mindset we have to have with interracial relationships. Is a Black woman the best option to you? Black woman has always been for me. So why would I say, well, most of us stay race loyal, so let's all just stay race? No. And I'm tired of this propaganda crap. Like, we got to be separated. Like, because our culture's different. Oh, well, you know, and then we get into politics. Well, most Black people vote this way, so if you vote that you can't love Black people and white people, we can't come together. That's total BS. You know, we can find love, and we should. You know, and I might show you some videos of Black and white couples from both sides of the political aisle. Okay? Finding love, success, opening up their options. You know, finding true love, understanding that people are people. And you know what? If your eyes are open and you can see true beauty, who would you pick? What I seen in the Black woman is the woman I wanted to be with. Even when I was a child, I could see the love. And as I grow up and I observed, I can see what Black women are doing, their resilience. I see what's in their heart, their love, their loyalty. Yeah, and most of them will stay within their race. But I know there's one out there that will love me, and that I want the best. And that was always my mindset. And we're seeing an increase of interracial relationships between Black women and white men, and it's beautiful, and they're having success. And Black women, you're better off opening up your options. You'll have a longer lasting marriage. You'll have more wealth. You'll be in a better neighborhood. Statistically. Why would we be loyal to somebody just because they look like us? That's BS. That's stupid. Especially when it comes to love and marriage. You want the best wife to share life with, or the best husband, right? Anyway, we know the statistics, right? It's not, we know it, we can look it up, and Black women, white men have the best marriage, the longest lasting. Why? And some will say, well, white men, you know, they have the white privilege and they have money and everything's in their favor, and Black women ain't going to bite the hand that feeds them, so that's why it works. No, that ain't it at all. It's because these people pour love into each other. Black women, white men, are the leaders of the community. They're used to putting in the work, and when they do it for each other, they appreciate what they get back from the other person. And it works. But people make excuse to hide the success. And why? They'll find some couple where they can find one evil white guy, and that's the swirling gone wrong. No, actually, the swirling gone wrong statistically is when black women don't open up their options, when white men don't open up their options. That's a tragedy. And I believe that some of us are meant to be married interracially with a different group. And the amazing thing is if we find something positive when two groups of people come together, black and white, right? If a black woman and white man have the most successful marriages, why would we try to stop it? Why would we? Why? Isn't that what we want? Is people to come together with love and respect? Isn't that what our nation needs? Or do we need to go back to segregation? And the crazy thing is there's a lot of black people that believe we should be resegregated. Like Umar Johnson, he wants a Pan-African paradise. That ain't never going to happen. He can be race low, but his kids, grandkids, and beyond will open up their options. People will be attracted of other people of different racial and ethnicities. And what's wrong with that? Why is that such a bad thing? Swirling gone wrong is when we don't have the freedom to open up our options. When we surrender to our community and people that look like us and society because they say we should do it this way. Well, I say hell no. I say no. You live your life the way you want to live. And if that young lady or that young man is the best option for you, take it. And don't look back. And quit living in the past. My God, we're in 2025. Let's live in the here and now. Who's the best option? Okay. All right, that's my little rant. I'm going to show you a video. And this woman has wrote a book on interracial relationships. She has done research on interracial relationships when it applies to black women and white men. And she'll share what she's found out. And it's amazing. And instead of just accepting, hey, that's the truth, how can other people look at this group and say, okay, they have success. How can I have success? No, they vilify this group. They say, oh, well, white men and black women, oh, it's because he's got white privilege, it's white supremacy, or it's racist in some crazy way. And that blows my mind. Black women and white men loving each other is white supremacy? How does that work? But I've heard that so many freaking times. It just blows my mind. Like, what? What world are we living in? But anyway, let me show you this video. Okay? And it's a news story. This was some years ago. But this woman has done research. She's wrote a book on it. And she's biracial herself. Okay? She's got black and white, I believe. And she talks about what she found out. Okay, and I know people will hate her because of it, but she's seeking out the truth and found it. Let me play it real quick.
1967, the Supreme Court ruled the banning of interracial marriages to be unlawful. Now, around the Loving case's 51st anniversary, interracial couples are widely accepted and seen all across America. Author of the book Interracial Dating Between Black Women and White Men, Cheryl Giudice, is here to tell us more about her research on this interracial dynamic, and the author of the book Interracial Dating Between Black Women and White Men. And this is your second book, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Tell me about the first book and why you decided to write this one.
Okay, well, my first book was a study where I compared and contrasted the lifestyles and the social acceptability of black men with white wives and then white women with black husbands.
Okay.
And that book got published as a textbook, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And because of that, I recognized that the people that I most want to have that information wouldn't get a chance to see it. So in 2014, I said, okay, I'm going to do another study, but this time I'm only going to focus on black women. And I limited to that because, first of all, black women are the least likely to get married, number one, and least likely to marry outside of the race.
That's
Okay, stop there. And that is a true statement. Black women are the least likely to get married. Okay? Ladies, if you want marriage, you're the least likely to get married. That is truth. It was truth then, it is truth now, and it'll probably be truth in the future. Unless black women start opening up their options more. Okay? They're the least likely to get married and least likely to open up their options. And we could talk all day and night why that is. Okay? I say there's many reasons, but that's a truthful statement. Let's continue.
what the statistics say.
That's very true.
Yeah, because they said let's take a look quickly. In the 25 to 29 age bracket, for every 2 black men, there are nearly 3 black women. Is that why?
Well, yes, that is. And from age 16 forward, black women start outnumbering black men. The same thing doesn't happen for whites until about age 32.
Well, according to a 2006 U.S. Census Bureau American Community Survey, 43% of black women between the ages of 30 to 34, as you said, have never been married.
That's right.
Yeah. So is that why they're deciding to go outside of their race, because there are not enough black men, or they just are attracted to them, or what's the case, Cheryl?
No, the primary motivator is very simply a numbers game. There's, people are always looking to say, oh, there's something wrong with black men. That's not the case at all. My research just looks at what happens when women are simply not able to marry within their race. And so consequently, if marriage and a family is their goal, they're going to have to broaden their idea of suitable dating partners.
Now, black men, you say, are more than twice as likely as black women to marry outside their race. That's amazing, because usually we see more black men with white women, don't we?
Yeah, that's what you quoted.
Oh, that's what I quoted.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, they're
Black
more
men
than
are
twice as likely.
yes.
I see.
Okay, let me stop here. Okay, black men are more likely to marry outside their race, okay, than black women. That's true. Okay, but the numbers are shifting. It's changing. There's more black women opening up their options now than ever. Okay, and I think that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. And I would say to black women, and what she said is a numbers game. Black women outnumber black men by over 2 million. Okay, and then you add in the incarceration rates. You add in the black men that open up their options and date and marry out. Ladies, the numbers is not in your favor at all. Okay? And you're too beautiful and too valuable to just sit on the sidelines and hope that you find black love, or you get that diamond in the rough that comes through, which for most black women, that don't happen. And it's because of a numbers game. And is it really worth it to be race loyal? Is it? You got to think about that. You look here, okay, and you look at the black women outnumber black men by over 2 million, okay? Okay. And black people are what, 13% of the population? Okay, so if you're going to be race loyal, you don't have much choice, ladies. You might have to lower your standards, or, get that men that don't measure up to you because you outnumber men. 43% of black women never been married. I think that numbers went up. This was done some years ago. Black men twice as likely to marry interracially. So guess what? Your numbers go down again. Those black women that are race loyal. Now, look at this right here. And I've talked about this stat. Okay, black women, white men, 44% lower chance of divorce. Okay, now that's with, she didn't say black or white, that's with a white couple. Okay, black women, white men have a 44% less chance of a divorce than two white people. Now, if you go to the black community, it's over 50%. Okay, and the worst group when it comes to marriage is black men and white women. Their marriages don't last. Not saying there ain't some that do. There are some that do, but statistically, that is the worst demographic for marriages lasting. And number two is the black community, black women, black men. Okay. But the best is black women, white men. And why? Is it because white men are so privileged and we got money and, we control the world and control everything. So when we get a black woman, it's just easy street and got it made, right? No, it ain't that at all. Most white people are everyday white people. Most are middle class, and we're just everyday people. We don't get privilege because we're white. People don't just give us money. I wish they did. I'm trying to get my white privilege going. I walked in the store and I said, "How much is this item?" And they said, "Well, it's this much." I said, "Well, I'm a white guy, okay? I got white privilege, so you need to lower the price." So, well, they didn't agree with me. It didn't work. They said I had to pay the full price, which I guess they don't understand white privilege. But all seriousness, okay? Black women, white men have the best marriage rates. And there's been people looking into it, trying to find out why. People are shocked. Oh, that can't be. People have this stereotype and belief that people that stay with their own race have the most success. And no, that ain't true. Not with everybody. Black women and white men, you're better off opening up your options. Black women, you're better off. White men, you're better off. Statistically, our marriage rates go up when we open up our options. We know black women's marriage rates go up. Well, white men's too. Okay? And that's with every group, whether it's Asian, Hispanic, or black. But the amazing thing is when we choose black women, we have the most successful marriages than any other group. So what are we doing, white men, black women? What are we doing? Seems to me that the swirling gone wrong is when black women and white men fail to swirl. I'm just saying. People say, "Oh, well, you're wrong. You're crazy." Nah, the numbers don't lie. The numbers say exactly what I'm saying. Let's continue.
Okay. I'm confusing myself.
Okay.
But now is it changing?
Well, it has begun to diminish in the sense that at one point when I started doing this research, black men were almost 4 times as likely to be married outside the race, whereas right now that has shrunk to a little bit more than 2.5 times.
Yeah, it's shifting. And you know what? Truth be told, right now, today, there are more black women than black men opening up their options. It's shifting big time. Okay? The past, we've always seen black men with white women, right? I remember growing up in the 70s. And when I started dating in the 80s, it was more common to see black men with white women. but it's been shifting, and it should shift. And black women, I think, are starting to see the truth. White men too, we're starting to say, oh wow, the black women are amazing. And a lot of white men have stood in the background and say, wow, black women are beautiful, but I don't have a chance. They only love black men. But when they get the courage to step up, they're finding out that, wait a minute, there are some black women that love white men or Asian men or different groups of men. And more than you would know. You know? And I think with black women, and I'm going to go on a limb when I say this, I think black women just want to be with a man that loves them and makes them feel beautiful and safe, and where a black woman could be the prize for a change, where the black woman don't have to be the strong black woman and hold it down. She could just be the beautiful woman she is. And if a white man or a non-black man offers that to her, I think a lot of non-black men will find out that black women are truly amazing. And I think a lot of black women are appreciating non-black men that are showing them love and respect and putting them on that pedestal for once. And I think it's just natural for women to be loved and protected and feel like they're the prize, they're the treasure, and they are. And my advice to white men or non-black men, if you love black women, show her love, show her respect. Let her be the prize. Let her be the beautiful lady she is. And embrace her and show her love. And don't get caught up in your ego. Have some humility. Tell you it pays off. Ladies, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but that's what I believe. Let's continue.
As likely to be married out of the race because more black women are also beginning to marry outside the race.
Oh, that's why, because you say that there's plenty of black women.
There are.
Because people say, I've heard people, oh, black men don't want to be bothered with black women. They're too strong. They don't want to deal with that. That's not the case?
That's not the case. I have not had anybody say that to me. And in fact, the white men I interviewed admired that quality in black women, that they had one of the standout features that they thought black women were independent, they thought they were strong, they liked the fact that they didn't have to feel like they had to be in charge. Where you have black women married to white men, I've discovered that most of these marriages are what I call egalitarian marriages. Mm-hmm. The couples are compatible along occupational, educational lines. So, and of course, they tend to be a little older at the time of the marriage anyway.
Here's another.
Okay, let me say this, what she was saying. Okay, and what she's saying is true, that we appreciate how black women are, how they adapt and overcome, how they're resilient. Okay, we do find that amazing in black women. We find it attractive. We find it a beautiful thing, and we're not threatened by it. We don't look at a black woman and say, oh my God, she's got a degree, and it's not a competition thing. We look at it as like, oh, that's a beautiful thing that shows her character. And I will say this, and because we find that attractive, we don't expect the black woman to be strong and hold it down and lift us up. No, we just want to be with the black woman because we love the black woman. We want her to feel safe and secure and feel beautiful. Okay? And I've had black women at times lash out to me. Okay, you're saying black women are amazing and resilient, and that's what you want in black women. All men are... No. Because I point out your strengths and the beautiful things about you don't mean that I expect you to be strong and carry me along. No. But I do, when I got married and I was looking for a wife, I wanted a wife that was strong in the sense that she would always be by my side and fight for our relationship, our marriage, because that's what I'm going to fight for, right? You know, and that's the beautiful thing about black women. You know, and in today's society, there's going to be more interracial relationships because black women are moving up in the economic scale in the corporate world. Okay, and black women, their education, they're moving up in the world. They're being more successful financially, and they're going to continue to be more successful. That's a black woman's character. That's what they do. And you know, with it when that takes place, there's going to be times a lot of black women are going to be around non-black men that are at their economic level, at their education level. And really that's how it should be. I mean, you know, you tend to do better with a woman that's at your level, guys. And I've always said that men do better when they're in control of the finances and they're providing and protecting. It's a natural thing. We feel better as men. We feel more confident, and women feel more protected, more secure. They feel more beautiful. You know, it wouldn't make sense for me as an average white guy, you know, and you guys know I've been in the military and I retired from the army, right? Now, as a soldier, which is, you know, an honorable career, it's an honorable position I have. And you know, and, you know, I'm proud of my military service, my career, okay? But I would never expect as a soldier to be married to a celebrity, a millionaire. That's a woman. Or, you know what I mean? I always knew my place that being I'm blue collar, middle class, that's the group of women I would be with. And it makes sense, right? And it can work with men to be with women that are lower on the economic scale. That way you could be the protector and provider. Does that make sense? You know? But anyway, let's go ahead and continue.
Another statistic, a study published by the National Council on Family Relations determined that at the 10-year anniversary, black women married to white men had a 44% lower divorce rate than white couples.
Yes.
Why?
Because they start out more compatible, I guess, to begin with, and and I think that probably is the main reason for that. Unlike,
yeah, they're more compatible, and I think black women and white men that come together appreciate each other more once they get to know each other. And I know there's fear with black women. They think, oh, he's a white man. Is he racist? Is he creepy? Is he a fetishizer? Because of all that propaganda and all that BS, black women have been told they're going to have that fear. But when they get to know each other, and white men have a fear too, they think, well, you know, they see stereotypes too. You know, they see black women very emotional and angry on TV, and they don't even see black men tear down black women, say they're crazy, or, you know. And I would say don't get to know people. Don't go on stereotypes and generalizations. But there is that fear. But when black women and white men come together and they truly love each other, they really appreciate each other. And that's why their marriages work. You know, and they have a lot in common. I would say this. I always said that black women are the better option, but black women I can relate to better than I can white women. And you say, well, how can that be? You've been raised in a white community around white people. Your mom's white, the women in your family's white, and you're white, and we look at your picture in the dictionary, you say white guy, and your picture's there. I get it. But when it comes to traditions, marriage, spirituality, I found that black women are the better option for me and how my values. And I think a lot of white men are finding that out, like, wow, These black women want the same things we do. And especially being a traditional white man, black women fit better than white women. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not trying to tear down white women. I'm just saying black women, white men are better off with each other. And when I say that, people look at me like I'm crazy. But really, look at the numbers. Look at the stats. What's that? She made it sound like we as black women are ruling white men around. Yeah, she kind of did. Like we appreciate. Yeah, I caught that too. And really, we don't look at black women as being strong to carry us along. We want to provide and protect for black women. I love black women, and I prayed to God to give me a black wife. I did. And people think that's crazy too. No, it's not. That's where my heart is. That's the women that show me the most love. And that's where I see true beauty. Yeah, but she's trying to be politically correct too. She's not trying to put black men down and say, well, it's a numbers game, and and making it sound like black women are so strong that they're just taking control over everything, even the white man. And yeah, some things I don't agree with what she said, but for the most part, she's on point when it comes to marriage stats and black women, white men finding love with each other. Let's continue.
Black men who are married to white women, you don't necessarily find those same degrees of compatibility.
Why not?
Well, men I think they may be attracted to women for different reasons than necessarily black women who opt out of the race.
Because you'd think they'd have more things in common.
Right.
Or is it just the race that they have in common?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, again, I just looked at it from the point of view that here you have, black women. We have so many black women that have never, ever thought of broadening their idea of who a suitable partner or spouse would be. So I know you and I both probably know so many black women that for no reason other than this mindset that they can't date out of the race are single.
And that's society.
Yes.
That's society.
Yeah.
So you're saying, or maybe I don't know if you're even taking an opinion in your book, but women should expand their horizons and just decide to look outside of their race, look outside of everything. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my goal in this research is for every black woman to feel as free and confident as any other woman to date and marry whoever she wishes.
What happens if their parents are against it, though? Because a lot of women will do what their parents want them to do.
And a lot of those stories in there support exactly what happens. But over time, when parents have seen that these are good relationships and that the men are serious about the women, and this is not just a social experiment, they have come around.
Isn't happiness the ultimate goal, though?
This is what I would hope.
Yeah. Now, let's talk quickly about the offspring.
Okay, let me stop right there. We talked about the numbers game and black women outnumbering black men, and that's true. And logically, you would want to offset the numbers, right? You would want every black woman that wants to be married and have a family have that opportunity, right? I think every woman on this planet should be able to be married and have a family. Every man, too. Okay? But I think it goes deeper than the numbers game. Okay? I just believe that it's a cultural problem. Okay? Within the black community, I think it's more acceptable to have children out of wedlock. I don't think the men are held accountable as much as other groups of men. And that's a problem. And I've said this over and over. As men, we need to have accountability for us to keep ourselves in check, for us to be good men. Okay? And ladies, you can't build up a man by coddling him, by telling him he's wonderful and the best and everything. That don't help men. How you help a man is hold the man accountable. Okay? If he wants to be with you in a relationship, he's got to earn that. Okay? And ladies, have your standards. If your standard is marriage and he just wants to date you, well, kick him to the curb. Okay? And it's all about accountability. You know, how I've been raised in a traditional family, having children out of wedlock is unacceptable. The men in my family would never accept me having children out of wedlock. Look, I come from teenage parents. My dad married my mother because of me, because it was unacceptable for a man to have children out of wedlock. It was shameful. Okay? And I know people look at it, well, it's a different world, you know, as long as you love your kids and you're there to cook them a good meal and play with them, you know, that's what matters. No, what matters is a man not laying down with a woman that's not his wife. What matters is a man stepping up and marrying the women within their community, whether it be the same race community or a woman that's in your community that you fall in love with. Okay? And I think that's why black women, white men do better, because there's still some standard there. There's still some traditional family values. There's still, you know, and look, I would be looked at as a radical in today's world. If people say, well, should you have premarital sex? I would say, no, you don't touch a woman that's not your wife. And people look at it, that's crazy. How can you function in life? What do you mean? You know, if you love that woman, and my thing is why would you want to be intimate with someone you don't love, really? That don't go good. So I think marriage is a big factor on the success in the community. And a lot of people say, well, it's white supremacy, black people have lower income and they don't have as much wealth as the white community. And I would say, you know what? The reason is, it's not white supremacy. The reason is the marriages. Black men are not marrying the women in their community. They're having children out of wedlock. When you impregnate a woman and you turn her into a single mother, you instantly put her in poverty and the children in poverty. I think we need a cultural makeover. I think we need to go back to traditions when it comes to love and marriage. One wife, one husband, children. That way the kids have a mom and dad and a structured environment. And we can look at studies, and we'll find that most children that come from two parents usually do better than children from a single parent. Now, there's always exceptions. I know people that come from single parent families that are wonderful and successful, and they make it. Okay? I'm not saying if you come from a single parent household, you're going instant failure. No, you're not. But you do have a disadvantage than someone that's got both parents. And if we love our children and we want to be the best fathers, wouldn't we marry the women that we lay down with? I'm just saying. Okay, let's continue.
Yes.
Could you hear years old, the offspring are going to have problems because they're interracial and they're biracial and blah, 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 blah.
I have not found that to be the case. And in fact, in the case where the husband is white and the woman is black, most of the white men are very comfortable with the idea that their children are going to be black. One of the people I interviewed, he'd say, when you marry outside of the race, just recognize your children will be viewed as black. Mm-hmm. And he was...
Okay, let me say something about this. She's right on this. I don't give a shit if my kids are called black or are white. That don't matter to me. They're my children. I love them. Okay. They're biracial because they're both black and white. Okay. And I would just say they're biracial. They're both. And they're people just like black people and white people. Okay. us as white men, we don't get caught up. Oh, well, they got to be considered white because I'm white, or we don't give a shit about that. So what? They're people. But I think a lot of times when it's the black man and white woman, I think because of the culture in the black community, uplifting the black man and protecting the black man, that they want their kids to be considered black. Not all, but I think that's where it comes in. And a lot of times I believe, okay, that black men and white women, their children have identity issues because they're taught that, like a pro-black type of family situation, even though it's a interracial relationship. We're white people, we don't care. We don't, most white men I talk to, they don't get caught up in that black and white thing. They know that's their children, their wife is black, and that's okay. And who cares what the children are? They're children, they're people. And at the end of the day, people are people, whether they're black or white. They got feelings, they got, they want to be loved and respected, and that is what it is. But I don't teach my kids, well, you got to be white because I'm like that. Or you got to be black because your mom's, just be you. Okay? Embrace who you are. And really, children with black mother, white father don't have those racial identity issues like the black man and white woman. They just don't. I've seen it firsthand. My brother-in-law was married to a white woman, had biracial children too, and they got like a pro-black mentality where my children don't. They're just people. They don't even worry about whether they're looked at as black or white, because we didn't teach them to have that identity issues. Why would we? Love your family. Okay, let's continue.
Perfectly comfortable with that. Not a problem for them.
What about cultural? Dealing with the culture of the white culture and the African American culture?
People manage to blend both of those. I have never come across any case where anybody has abandoned their own culture. Mm-hmm. They've just blended those families together.
And they teach the children each culture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And that's how you should do it. Why do you got to have a certain culture where you got to identify with? Create your own culture. Me and my wife, we do. Thanksgiving, you know what we eat? My wife will make turkey and collard greens, and we'll have enchiladas because we're in New Mexico. We love Mexican food, even though we're not Mexican, but we love Mexican food. So we'll eat that because it's like we kind of adapted that culture and we just create our own. We love what we love. And you know what? Hey, do your thing. The hell with society. I don't have to follow no culture. Because I'm white, I don't have to act like every white dude out there. I could be my own person. I'm a human being. Same thing with my wife. Yeah, really, the amazing thing with black women and white men, we don't get caught up in that racial identity and that culture thing. And people say, well, during Jim Crow, white people, they didn't accept biracial. Yeah, that's true. But in today's world, we don't think like that. People are caught up in a misconception that white people back in Jim Crow and slavery are the same white people they were back then. No, that's bullshit. We're different people. We have different values. And I would say this, that white people in the past were the problem. Today, we're the solution. People are going to hate me for that. But truly, we are. But hey, who's gonna follow culture? Oh, how will they adapt with the culture? Who cares? Culture is changing every day anyway. They say white people don't have culture. No, that ain't true. We got plenty of culture. People say, well, white people are still in culture. Well, I wouldn't say still in. We just kind of embrace it. What we like to do. how we like to dress. I mean, what food we eat. Like I said, I love Mexican food. I grew up eating it. They'll say you're not Mexican. That's true, but I love the food. I love where I live. I love my wife's cooking. I mean, gosh, when I married my wife, I never ate so good. And my mother-in-law cooks great too. Black people know how to cook. I love it. I got tired of the tuna casserole with the raisins in it. You know, I mean, love what you love. Do you? Let's continue.
Yeah, and we're talking black women and white men. What about, you know, maybe Indian women and white men or Chinese? Do the same things apply?
Well, I haven't studied those groups, Micah, so I really can't say.
That's your next book.
Well, let me say this, because I have studied this. White men with Asian women and Indian women. White men tend to do better when they open up their options. White men that are with Asian women tend to do better than when they're with white women. Okay? We do better when we open up our options, but we do the best when we're married to black women. And I tell people that, and it drives them crazy. But when they research it, say, dang, Brett, you're right about this. Wow. Man, no wonder my marriage lasted so long and still going strong. Maybe more men should invest in the black woman. You'd be better off. I'm just saying. Truth is truth.
Okay. Okay, maybe so. I'll keep it going. Yeah.
Well, why did you decide to do this, though? What prompted you to even delve into this?
For me, the main reason I got into this is because I recognized that there were far more black women than black men. And in a sheer numbers game, if black women want to get married, I didn't want them to waste their child.
Okay, guys, and that's her book. You know, interracial relationships between black women and white men. Okay, she's done the research, guys. Okay, she's done the numbers. She studied it. Okay, and many people have, and they all find out that black women and white men are the best option for each other. They have the most success. And instead of fighting it, maybe we should embrace it. Just saying. I mean, even though we're the least likely to get married, we have the best results. So why tell black women, look, black women, only 1% of white men are going to marry you, so be with Tyrone because that's what society wants you to do. No, black women, you go for the best option. If it's that white guy or that Asian guy, you choose the right option. Don't get caught up in how many are doing it, because a lot of people, look, a lot of times when you follow crowds, a lot of people are doing the wrong thing. Do you want to just follow them like cattle? Oh, well, damn, you know, white men marry Becky, so I'll do it too. Boo, let's just be a cattle and just follow each other and just do what we're told. Not me. I'm living my life the way I want to live it. And black women, you do the same. White men, you do the same. If you want to be race loyal, you go do it. If you don't, open up your options. And don't let nobody steer you the wrong way. Don't get caught up in that where people are trying to keep you within the box. No. Black women, really, you're better off opening up your options. Statistically, when it comes to love and marriage, when it comes to wealth, black women, you do better when you open up your options. Okay? Now, I'm not saying all black women need to do this, but I'm saying more need to. Just saying. And white men, open up your options. And look, you're more successful with black women than anybody. But anyway.
varying years looking for a goal that may not be achievable. And of course, I had some experience. I'll tell you about an.
And let me say this, when I'm promoting interracial relationships, I'm not hating on any other group. I want every marriage to last. I want everybody to find love and happiness, whoever they choose. Okay? Let me make that clear. All right? Me promoting black women with white men ain't trying to take away from black men. It's trying to give black women a better opportunity, and other groups of non-black men too. Okay? Because when it comes down to it, it's about survival. It's about finding someone you can connect with, someone you could love the rest of your life, and build a family together. That's, at the end of the day, that's what we need. Okay? This race loyal crap ain't going to get you nowhere. Right? We should judge people by their character and the decisions they make, not by how close they look like us. That's stupid. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to show you some people that I'll show you a couple people that have stayed race loyal and not had a good experience, okay? And maybe that was swirling gone wrong, okay? All right. I'm going to show you a young lady that's very popular, very famous, can sing good, beautiful, got it all. But she ended up in a swirling gone wrong situation, meaning she failed to swirl.
J. Blige made such a foolish decision during her divorce. She couldn't stand her husband, Kendu Isaac's affair. Eventually, she chose to divorce him, but it cost her everything. She emptied her accounts and nearly filed for bankruptcy. Mary once said she loved Kendu deeply, but he never worked and kept asking her for money to support multiple mistresses. In 2003, Mary married her manager, Martin Kendu. For 12 years, Kendu never had a stable job. Mary covered all the household expenses. Still, Kendu was never satisfied and kept demanding more money. Eventually, Mary decided to divorce him, but that led to even bigger problems. After the divorce, Kendu continued to demand alimony. He used legal tactics to increase his monthly alimony from $30,000 to $130,000. He claimed to be unemployed and said Mary fired his personal agent, leaving him without any income. Even worse, Mary had to take on $6.5 million in debt left by her ex-husband. Mary publicly said, "I always believed love could change everything, but this marriage taught me the reality." What do you think about Mary J. Blige's?
What do you think about that? Mary. The story of swirling gone wrong. Now, ladies, this is what happens when you fail to swirl. This is what happens when swirling goes wrong. You know, they always do those videos. Ladies, this is what happens when you get with a white man. Well, this is what happened when you stay race loyal. Look, you know how many millions of dollars she had to pay these guys? Her last ex-husband, $30,000 a month. And then he took her to court to get $130,000. He wasn't good with $30,000 a month. Good God. You know what I could do with $30,000 a month? Really? And it's her money. It's her work. She earned it. Wow. She had to go bankrupt to pay that alimony. Maybe Mary J. Blige should have got with the white man. Maybe she should have opened up her options. I'm just saying. Or did she just choose wrong? She just chose the wrong guy. Is that what happened? I'm just saying, if she would have got with the white guy, the divorce, if she got divorced, would have been a lot cheaper. $30,000 a month, really? She's too famous and beautiful to go through this crap. And ladies, were these dudes really? I mean, would you date those dudes she was with? I mean, I don't. They didn't look like Denzel to me, but I don't look at men that way. Ladies, you tell me. But that's what happens if you fail to open up your options. I'm going to get hate for that. I don't care. Okay. But yeah, Mary J. Blige, she's paid out millions of dollars and to her exes. And that the last guy, like I said, he was getting $30,000 a month alimony, right? He wanted more than $100,000 a month. Let that sink in. Now I know Mary J. Blige got a lot of money because she's a celebrity. Okay? But come on, is that fair? I'm just saying. Wow. I mean, gosh. And why should she pay him? Oh, because he was her manager, and that's the loophole he went through to get more money. But he cheated on her. He had mistresses. She was paying for mistresses. And let that sink in too. Isn't it in a court of law, if you're caught committing adultery, you don't get nothing? How was he able to manipulate the courts to get all that money out of her? Denzel is dusty. He's a dusty too. Well, just women are attracted because that's Denzel Washington. I just use that as an example. Like, he's dusty too. Yeah, he is. He's a good actor, but he's dusty. Okay. All right. Now, here's a young lady that's famous too in the R&B world. Okay. She's a black woman, very famous, very talented. Okay. She chose black love and, never opened up her options. And maybe she just didn't choose the right guy. Maybe like so many black women should have chose better. I don't know. You make the call. Okay.
Love stories. Fantasia Barrino and Kendall Taylor's whirlwind romance seemed like a Hollywood dream. But recently things took a shocking turn, and Fantasia is breaking her silence about what went down behind the scenes. Buckle up, because this is a roller coaster of heartbreak, trust issues, and jaw-dropping revelations that you won't want to miss. Fantasia and Kendall tied the knot in 2015, giving fans a glimpse into their seemingly perfect relationship. They shared everything from sweet date nights to heartwarming messages about being each other's soulmates. Fantasia often praised Kendall as her rock and best friend, and the couple seemed unbreakable. But as with many celebrity relationships, there's always more than meets the eye. Recently, rumors started swirling about Kendall's alleged infidelity, and Fantasia is finally opening up about the betrayal that's left her shattered. According to sources, Kendall's outside friendship with another woman has caused Fantasia immense heartbreak, leading her to reconsider their once rock-solid marriage. Fantasia is now sharing her side of the story, and she's not holding back. It was love at first sight, she recalls about their early days. But love, as she's painfully discovered, doesn't always come without red flags. Fantasia, known for her powerful voice and resilience, has faced her share of challenges, both personally and professionally. From overcoming past abusive relationships to rising as a beloved singer and performer, she's no stranger to struggle. But this latest chapter is one she admits she never saw coming. Fantasia had believed in Kendall's loyalty, but the trust they'd built now feels like it was built on sand. Trust is everything in a marriage, Fantasia shared tearfully. Once that's broken, it's hard to look at someone the same way. In a twist that feels straight out of a Hollywood plot, Fantasia's revelation has sent shockwaves across her fan base. Fans who once celebrated the couple's love story are now speculating about what really went on behind closed doors. Some sources even suggest that the cheating rumors have been an open secret in their social circle, but Fantasia chose to stay silent, until now. Her decision to finally address the betrayal suggests she's ready to move forward even if it means doing so alone. As if this wasn't enough drama, Fantasia is hinting at deeper issues within the marriage beyond Kendall's alleged infidelity. In her recent interviews, she's spoken about how trust wasn't just shattered, but also how she felt like her voice had been silenced in the relationship.
Wow. You know, if you followed Fantasia, right? Man, I think Fantasia is awesome. Mary J. Blige is awesome. They're talented women. They're beautiful. They're very successful. And they ended up getting with dusty dudes that took advantage of them. Okay? And look, these are just two ladies I could show. Okay? But we can dig deeper. All right. We can look at other ones. We can look at Rihanna with her baby's daddy. I don't know if they're married, with A$AP Rocky. You know, you could look at that. You know, and it's sad. I think Keisha Cole was run through, you know, she was dragged by the guy she was with. You know, and I looking at these, I don't know these women. I don't know where their hearts is, but from what I see, they probably wanted a man to love them and be there for them. They look like they got a sweet spirit, right? I mean, I don't know, but I mean, the dudes they married drug them through. I mean, in Fantasia, if you look at her life story, I mean, one dusty after the other. Maybe these women need to open up their options. Maybe I'm serious. People laugh, say, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get with a white guy. It'll solve everything. No, I'm not saying it. But they'll have more options. I'm just saying they'll have more chance of success. I'm telling you, when a white man invests in a black woman, you know, most of us just love black women and we want to give our all. Okay? There's some powdered dusties that will take advantage of black women. But for the most part, us white men that love black women, we're all in. And we just want to love you and be with you. Like I'm with my wife. I love my wife. I want to make her happy. I want her to feel beautiful and safe. And I just want to embrace her and just let her know that she's everything in my life. You know, a lot of us white guys are like that. But because of the stereotypes and the propaganda, a lot of times us white guys don't get a chance because black women have been fed so much crap and propaganda that they're afraid of us. And most of us are just everyday men. We got, you know, a lot of us are good men and have a good heart. A lot of us are traditional and just want that family structure. You know, obviously the dudes that these ladies got with, you know, they were right. You know, they were along for the ride, seeing what they can get out of them. And it's sad because they wasted years with these guys. What, to deal with cheating? Mary J. Blige paying millions of dollars in alimony to some dusty dude that used her? I'm just saying. Someone in the comments said, when you search for love, it's about what you want. I think that was a good thing. But when you want somebody that loves you, you got to look at what qualities you want, not how they look or if they're the same race or doing what society wants you to do. Go for someone that loves you, that cherishes you, that embraces you. These guys didn't embrace that. Mary J. Blige, her husband, both the husbands she had didn't embrace her. Heck, they had mistresses on the side. Fantasia's man that was supposed to be that good guy, right? They're celebrating. She finally found love. just to find out he was cheating on her. Wow. Uh-oh. I erased the wrong one. Sorry. Okay. So that's 2 examples. Okay. Now I'm going to show you 2 young ladies that open up their options. Okay. These are famous women too. And let's see the results they had. Okay. I'm going to have one young lady from the left politically and one from the right politically. But both opened up their options and found love. Okay? Let me show you this.
Ketanji Brown Jackson already knows her way around the Supreme Court. She was a law clerk for Justice Stephen Breyer, the man she's been nominated to succeed. She's now a judge on the Federal Appeals Court in Washington, confirmed for that position just 8 months ago.
She's an amazing person.
One of her supporters has been Paul Ryan, the former Republican Speaker of the House. His in-laws and hers are related. Judge Jackson was born in Washington but grew up in Miami, where her mother was a school administrator and her father was a lawyer for the school board.
I would sit at the dining room table doing my homework with my father. He had all of his law books stacked up, and I had all of my coloring books stacked up. And when I think back to those times, there really is no question that my interest in the law began that early on.
She graduated from Harvard and Harvard Law, and that's where she met her husband, Patrick, now a surgeon. They have 2 daughters, ages.
Okay. She opened up her options, found love. Look at that. Supreme Court Justice. I mean, regardless of how you feel politically, you got to admit, to get that position takes hard work and determination, right? And her husband's a surgeon, okay? These are successful people, but they found love. They've been married several years. They got 2 daughters, okay? They swirled to investment. And I bet along the way, they probably told her, don't marry that white man, stay away. You know, he's going to fetishize you. And he was probably told, well, you know, she's successful and you know, our cultures are different, you know, and I don't want to see you get hurt. How do I know what they were probably told? Because this is a lot of what I've been told, me and my wife. And let me tell you, they found love. They swirled to investment. They swirling to investment. Open up your options, ladies, gentlemen. And you notice us white men, the women we marry are successful women. They're educated, and a lot of us marry traditional women, very spiritual, you know, got it together. A lot of us marry educated women in the corporate world doing amazing things. But the black women are getting the successful white man too. And why is that? Is it because we're more strategic? See, when black women and white men come together, they're looking for more than just physical attraction, more than just finding love. They're looking for a future, building a legacy together, becoming a team together. Okay? And when you have true love, you get all those rolled up in one. Think about it. Just saying.
17 and 21. If confirmed, she'd be the first black woman ever on the Supreme Court and the first justice since Thurgood Marshall, who retired 30 years ago, with significant experience defending accused criminals. She's a former public defense lawyer. For the past 8 years, she's been a federal trial judge, and at her confirmation hearing for the appeals court, she was asked what role race would play in her decisions.
I don't think that race plays a role in the kind of judge that I have been and that I would be. It's sort of like the Oliver Wendell Holmes quote that the life of the law is not logic, it's experience.
And at age 51, she'd be one of the youngest on the current court, second only to Amy Coney Barrett, who just turned 50 last month.
Okay. All right. There's an example of swirl to investment. Opening up your options. She didn't have to go through what Mary J. Blige went through, did she? Or Fantasia. And I'm not saying that if you get a white guy, it's going to be great, ladies. I'm just saying your chances are better. And white men, I say, getting a black woman, your chances are better too. Now, this next young lady, you'll know her, and she's on the far right, far left, far right. And the reason I want to show this is, hey, we all need to open up our options.
Impressive person you've ever met.
Okay, he's interviewing her. This is Candace Owens, and he's going to say, who's the most impressive person you ever met? Let's continue.
Who's the most impressive person you've ever met?
My husband, without question. I would say my husband, which is why I married him 18 days after meeting him.
18 days?
18 days after laying eyes, meeting each other, we got engaged. Pardon, not married. We got engaged 18 days later because he's the most impressive person that I've ever met. And there are a lot of reasons for that. I mean, he put me on the path to my faith journey. He's absolutely brilliant. He studied theology overseas. My husband's from the UK. And I never understood, like, why would you like pick theology as your quote unquote major? They don't call it a major. And now I see why. He was like, because you have to understand faith to know what drives everything in the world. And I didn't understand what he meant by that. But I have been impressed by what faith has done in his life. He's also brilliant. He's a financial guru. And I just think my husband is like the most impressive person in the world.
What do you think about that, guys? She said the most impressive person in the world is her husband. That's pretty amazing. You know, and these two people, okay, and regardless of your politics, who cares, right? When it comes down to it, finding love. And people are doing it on both sides of the aisle, whatever, you know, their beliefs are. And we're finding out which side, it don't matter. They're finding success. Black women, white men, regardless of where they're at, they're doing better than any other group. Think about that. You know? And, you know, if you ask Candace Owens' husband, he would say the same thing. She's everything to him. And that's how a marriage should be. Let's quit trying to be race loyal. That is stupid. That don't benefit nobody except segregationists, you know, the ones that want to that worship their skin tone or their racial group. That's the only ones it benefits, and then it don't benefit them either. Because if you're not finding true love, then what are you doing? People tell me, you chose your wife because she's black. No, I chose my wife because of her character. The reason I love black women is because of their character, because of the big heart they have, because of their loyalty, because of their passion. It just happens that the woman that has all these qualities happens to be the black woman. So that's why black women are my preference. Because I want the best, and they are the best. And my wife is the best in the world. Okay, let me gosh, I erased this one video. I wanted you guys to see this. Dang it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, well, before I get to it, let me show you this video. And this woman, I believe she's pro-black because she talks about white people like they're the devil. But But she talks about why black women, white men marriages are more successful than black men and white women. Okay, and let's go ahead and listen to this.
Did you know that white men who are married to black women have a lower divorce rate than black men who were married to white women? Stick with me. Now, I find this
All right, stick with her, guys.
quite fascinating because I thought about the answer to this for quite some time, and I'd like to share my response with you. And please do sound off in the comments how you feel because I'd love to hear it, okay?
Okay, go.
Number one, white people tend to grow up with money because, well, the system since the time of Woodrow Wilson was meant to be unbalanced.
Okay, she's right. Woodrow Wilson was a racist. Okay, back in the day. Yeah, I can't disagree. Woodrow Wilson. But white people having money, where are these white people? Because I look. I do good now, but I wasn't raised in money. And I know a lot of white people that don't make a lot of money. So they're probably curious, where do we get this money that we're supposed to have? But anyway, let's continue.
For black people, those who are colored. So it makes sense that you started us off at a disadvantage to not have and accumulate wealth. Now, back to why this matters. White people care about mental health. They will pay anything for their child to be normal.
Okay, if you listen to her, she's saying the reason why black women, white men marriages last longer, she's saying because we got money, okay, and mental health. We'll pay a bunch of money in mental health. Is that why our marriages last? Now, let me say this. She said we'll pay money for our children for mental health. I will. I'll spend thousands of dollars for mental health for my children or my wife because I want them to be healthy. I want them to be happy. I don't want them to hurt themselves or anybody else. So, yeah, I'll spend a lot of money on mental health. And, you know, don't they have programs of people that don't have money to get mental health? Don't they have like Medicaid where you could get help with your mental health? There are programs, right? I mean, is it just white people that have money to just throw at mental health because we can? Mental health is a serious thing. Look, recently, a soldier I served with in Iraq committed suicide. It broke my heart. And he was suffering from mental health issues. Okay? Mental health ain't something funny to mess with. And she's right. If my children need help with mental health, I will spend a lot of money because I want them to be healthy and happy. Okay? Hey, Alexander, thank you for the super chat. Roadrunner, I'm having a live stream at 8 Eastern time. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you so much. Alexander, you're a good man. Thank you, sir. Okay. And he's having a live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Thank you so much. All right, let's continue.
Thousands of dollars a month, whatever it takes. But white people, you forget that blacks cannot afford that. So, of course,
blacks can't afford mental health. I know some black people that make really good money. My neighbors are black. Actually, they're Nigerian. And in fact, he's he's a supervisor at the post office. His wife's in the medical field. They make good money, more than me and my wife do. We do really good. There's a lot of black people that make good money. I think really in our society, I think black people are pretty even economically. What sets black people and white people apart is the the out of wedlock birth rate. If you took that out of it, we'd be pretty even. We really are. I don't think there's but when you don't marry the women you have children with and make them single mothers, you're going to put people in poverty. It just is what it is. Okay? So I think this is just a stereotype that black people are broke and white people got money, and that ain't true. Okay? I know a lot of wealthy black people. I just, I can't buy off into that. That's a stereotype. Maybe there's segregation. That would be true because the laws were in a way to benefit white people, and, black people didn't have the same opportunity. I get it. But in today's world, it's not that way. It really isn't.
First, when white men are married to black women, the divorce rates are lower. You've had enough funds to take care of your mental health. Now, I'm not saying that they're not poor white people, but honey, that's very rare.
That's very rare, really. I know a lot of white people in the trailer park that would say different. There's a lot of poor white people. We don't get money because we're white. But that's why our marriage rates are better, because of mental health, because we spend money in it. And the black man can't spend money on mental health, so his marriage don't work with the white woman. I don't know.
Then you know that they're real addicts, because where else will they be poor? Stick with me.
Stick with me. Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to another reason is because, white people, when you come from money, access gives you power. And with that, the black women that you marry, chances are not all of them usually come from money. And so that gives you leverage. The connections that they've made are people who are still in your...
Oh, that's what it is. Because they're not coming for money, black women. So it gives us leverage because us white men have money. Let me tell you a little secret. My wife's family had more money than my family. In fact, my wife lived in a much better neighborhood than I did. And she's black and I'm white. Like, come on. So they don't come for money. I would say, she's probably right on that. A lot of black women just want to be loved. Black women in the black community aren't looking for money either. In fact, a lot of black women are the breadwinners, and they're taking care of their men and children a lot of times. So you're right. They don't come for money. And yeah, that gives white men leverage because the black woman that we get with, it is making us better. It's like taking our so-called white privilege and making it better. You know what true privilege is? It's not being white. It's being a white man married to a black woman. That's true privilege. Yes. And I have it. And I'm loving life. Okay, let's continue.
Circle. So it's rare that they'll ever bite the hand that feeds them, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And so it's either you hush up or they shut you up by fire or by force.
Oh, so she's saying white men, she's saying that black women hush up or they'll shut you up. So she's implying that white men, you either go along with what they say or they'll make sure they shut you up. So are you saying that white men are going to resort to violence to control black women? I mean, what is she saying? Because everything she's saying is stupid, okay? The reason black women, white men have the most successful marriage is they do it the right way. They come together with love for each other, and they're used to putting in the work, and they appreciate the love they get from each other. It has nothing to do with how much money they spend on mental health or how much money the white man is given and, shutting black women up that don't comply. That is stupid. That is all propaganda. And I don't know where she gets this stuff. But that's what the pro-black community does, is they'll make up excuses why black women, white men are doing good. They can't just admit that, say, you know what? They're doing it the right way. They're coming together with marriage, and they're doing it because they love each other, and they're being strategic. Y'all can't say that. It's got to be because the white man's got money. It's got to be white privilege, white supremacy. It's got to be he's threatening black women, and he's just got so much money that's why it works. I'm like, really? It don't sound like she's put in a lot of research. It sounds like a lot of talking points and propaganda. I'm just saying. Anyway.
So where are you going to get the power to file a divorce? Stick with.
How are you going to get the power to file for a divorce? You just go into court of law and file for it. You don't have to be. Anybody can file for a divorce. Yeah, but we'll stick with you. Go ahead.
Now, black men, since you usually come from single parent household, how are you going to have the funds to barely exist and have food on the table, talk less of mental health? That's a rare topic in our community, in our household.
Okay, let me stop there. She said, black men, you mostly come from single parent households. That is true. But young lady, why is that? Okay. And I would say she's right, because black men have a disadvantage because of that. But who caused that disadvantage? I would love to ask her that question. Who gave black men the disadvantage of mostly having one parent? Who did it? Was it white supremacy? Were there Klan members that stood at City Hall and didn't allow black people to get married? Was that what happened? Or was it the black man didn't want to marry the woman he slept with? And they had kids out of wedlock. Because I'm telling you, there's no white supremacists stopping black people from getting married. In fact, white supremacists would love black people to get married so they don't mess with white people. If you really knew what white supremacy really was, it's believing they're superior because they're white. And they don't want black people involved with white people. So they would probably love if the black man married the black woman, because then the black woman wouldn't come over to the white man. That's what they'd want. I mean, it's a rocket scientist. Who caused the single parent? Who caused the woman to have children by herself? I mean, ask yourself that.
They choose to brush it off, cover it up. Whites do that too, and then they create full-blown narcissists that you have to deal with in society. White boys who feel entitled, cokeheads.
White boys are cokeheads now. Oh, okay. And we're narcissistic, and because of society privilege. I take offense to that. I've never done drugs. I've never done coke or any of that crap. There are some white people that are drug addicts, yeah. Just like there are black people and Asian people that are drug addicts. I mean, what are you talking about? She's generalizing white people as overly privileged, narcissists, and drug addicts. I mean, wow. What if I said that about black people? Oh, you know, what if I said black people were drug addicts and all this stuff? But I would never do that. There are drug addicts in every group. I mean, most black people I know don't do drugs. But anyway, let's continue.
Around violating women, taking advantage of the power and access that they have, so they're never held accountable by law, because all their parents have to do is pay off the right people. One phone call, one text message, and it's erased from their history. You'll never know about it.
Gosh, who has this legal privilege where all you parents have to do is just make a call and you're not charged for anything? We as white people get away with it, because if I commit a crime, my parents just get on the call and say, hey, get my son off, and it just happens. Who are these white people she's talking about? Who's got money and that much power to pull strings like that? I mean, are you talking about a senator's children or something? Someone that has political pull? Because us as white people don't have that kind of pull. I'm sorry. Just saying.
Meanwhile, they're running Fortune 500 companies, and you're wondering, who is this narcissistic son of a gun? Who is this?
Wow, we're running Fortune 500 company. I don't have one. Wait, somebody help me get a hold of my white privilege so I can have my Fortune 500 company, so I can have money just given to me, where I could have political pull, where I could just, get away with doing crimes. And where am I going to pick up my shipment of cocaine? Because we're all cocaine addicts. Let's continue.
Cracker that we have here, that you have to call a boss that signs off on your check. Meanwhile, everything that makes up their imagery is everything that they're not. Hence, the black people that work for them.
Right.
I'm just thinking out loud, why else would white men being married to black women have lower divorce rates than black men being to white women?
Because we have more character, because we make better decisions, because we truly love the black women we're married to. That's the reason. The reason, and I'm going to answer her question. The reason black women and white men marriages last the longest is because we pour more into it. Okay. And for us white men to be with a black woman, you got to understand that we're willing to kick everybody to the curb, whether it be family, friends, and we don't care what people think. We just know the woman we're with is the woman we love. That's why our marriages work. It has nothing to do with how much mental health we spend money on. It is, and most white people, we're not just given money beyond political belief. We're just not. We're not. We just love black women. I love black women. I married a black woman. It's because I see the beauty in black women. I see the character in black women. Can it just be that? And maybe black women see the character in the white men that love them. Could it be that's why it works? But a lot of times these people will not admit it. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to cut this short.
From homes where you don't get to have two-parent household, when you lack that discipline, that direction, when you lack someone to look up to.
She says they don't have two-parent households. Okay, I'm sorry I keep stopping this, but I wish she or someone like her would look into that. Why is the black community single-parent households? Why is that? And she has to ask herself that. Why? Is it because they're forced to be in single-parent households, or is it because they choose to be in single-parent households? I'm just asking. I mean, she keeps referring to that, and that's the truth. And yeah, black kids will have a less chance of opportunities because they only have one parent. I get it. But what caused that one parent household? Why did that happen? It's got to be one or two things. Either a black woman wants to be a single mother with children, or the black man don't want to marry the black woman. It's one or the other. It can't be because of mental health. It can't be because white people we're all rich and have money and all this crap. It's got to be because of a decision. I mean, if she really looked at it logically, she could see what the problem is. And she can see what the solution is. I'm just saying. I mean, just listen to what she says. I mean, what's the answer?
It impacts your life, the decisions that you make. You make the same mistakes as your parents because you're so busy judging them that you forget that you too are human and this is your first time doing this thing called life. See, we're all reincarnations, and many times the child comes back as the parent's parent to parent them, to correct.
Okay, let me stop here. I might stop this. She's going to go into reincarnation next, and I just wanted to show this because let me get it. Because there's a misconception. There's an excuse. People come up with all kinds of reasons why black women and white men are successful in marriage. And they just don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to say, you know what? They did it right. They love each other. They made the right decisions, and that's why they're successful. They cannot do it. There's got to be some alternate reason why they're having success. It's got to be either the white privilege, having money, or, you know, threatening black women to do what, I don't know. The whole thing is dumb. I mean, and the reason is the men aren't held accountable. Look, our society's going downhill because men are not held accountable. Okay? And this is every group of people. Okay? It's not just black people. Black people, the black community has the highest divorce rate. They have the most children born out of wedlock. Okay? But all across the country, we have that problem. Okay? And the only way to fix it is men to do the right thing. That's how you fit. Men gotta fix themselves. I mean, we can blame women all we want, but until we do right, it ain't going to get right. And the glimmer of light that I see, the hope that's out there, is black women and white men finding love, going against societal norms, going against what people think, and being able to go against the grain, being able to have the courage to be with who you truly love, who you see as the best option, and being able to make your own decisions. And not having to live in the collective where, it's a beautiful thing. Laws will be changing regardless of, But anyway, I want to show you. Let me pull this up here. I don't want to continue with this.
Before they leave this.
Okay, I'm trying to find out what. Oh, dang, that ain't the right. Okay. Before I go, let me do a copyright disclaimer. Okay. Copyright disclaimer. Okay, the videos we're showing is for educational purposes, for education, for commentary, and hopefully we can learn something, and for entertainment also. Okay. But yeah, and look, that lady's got a right to her own opinion. If she wants to believe what she believes, no hate. I'm just saying, maybe she ought to open up her options. Maybe she'd be happier. Okay. Anyway, let me pull up another video real quick. Let me see where it is. Is this the one?
Any advice, black women?
Okay, this ain't it. Sorry, I'm looking for a video.
Understand that.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, my God. Guys, you got to see this. Okay, this young lady, okay, you see her video. She says, the great replacement, no theory. This is nuts, okay? Listen to this. I'll go back and review it.
I don't think you'll understand that there are some black men who don't want to date white women because they care so much for them. They literally are dating them and marrying them just to piss the white man off. Y'all don't understand this. You have people like Kanye West. I want you to think about the way he treats his wife, the way that he is constantly degrading this woman. Yesterday, he had a photo of her in his story practically butt naked. Nobody who had any respect for their wife would post their wife the way that he posts her, would walk around with her being degraded the way that he's constantly degrading her. He's literally getting these white women just to show the white man, like, look, I got your woman and look what I'm going to do with her. I'm going to have my way with her. She's going to do whatever I want her to do and you can't do anything about it. Y'all don't understand that we were literally being hung just for looking at a white woman. And now we can get the white woman and make the white woman beg at our feet to do whatever we want them to do, and they won't even complain, cheating on them, running all over them, doing whatever we want to do because they allow it. So desperate for the black man, so desperate to be in the black man's presence, they let the black man do whatever the black man wants to do to them, and the black man feels good about erasing the white race. That's what's happening. Once they have a baby with the white man, we're literally replacing them. The one drop rule. Now the babies are brown skinned, replacing the Europeans and making the white woman our slaves. So don't think that the black man is choosing white women over us because they're better. They're choosing the white woman to piss the white man off and to let the white man know that we will always have the upper hand. Black power forever.
Okay. Black power forever is what she's. Wow. Talk about hate. Oh my God. She's saying that, okay, black men are getting with white women to piss off the white man. It don't piss me off at all. I don't care. But she goes off and saying that it's replacement, getting rid of white people, turning the children brown, making white people disappear. And you see how she was like, and yeah, they don't like the white woman, and we're going to replace white people. She's like a mad scientist. Like, what? Like, wow. Really? You hate white people that bad, young lady? You know what? I can't even, I can't even get mad at her because this, as stupid as it is, sounds like she needs some help. You need some therapy. Okay. Why do you have so much hate? Get you that good black man. Be happy, young lady. Why are you gonna hate white people? We're just people. And let's say white people turn brown, then what? Who are you going to hate next? Wow, that I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, this lady's just angry. And you know what I think? I think she's probably upset that black men are with white women, but she tells herself, okay, they're erasing white people, so it's a necessary thing. And do some black men think this way? Like they just want to get with the white woman to piss off the white man? And just erase white people? Is that what it is? If they got that mindset, God help them. Wow. And she'll probably get with a black man that messes with white women. He probably just say, well, I'm erasing them. And she'll like, yeah, get rid of them. Okay, I got to go get with Becky to erase some more white people. Like, what? What are they going to erase? All that's going to happen is white people are going to get darker and black people are going to get lighter. We're going to be, the genetics don't die, they come back. There's always going to be light and dark people. No matter how much we procreate with each other over and over. Now, we came from the same place anyway, so who cares? I don't care if my kids, grandkids are light, dark, or whatever. as long as they're good people, happy, and living their best life. This lady is off a rocker, man. Oh my God. Hey, you know what? I need to send this to Dr. Umar Johnson. Maybe that would be a good fit for him. But she's got to be 5'5", thick in the thighs for him, though. And he probably won't marry her if she's got a big ego. I don't know. Okay. All right. That was fun. They're erasing us. Oh, my God. My arm's going. I'm being erased. Oh, my God. No white people left. Oh, my God. What will we do? But before you erase us, please, for the love of God, before you erase me, take away that tuna casserole, please. Take the raisins, too. At least I won't have to deal with that no more. Oh, man. Maybe we can erase some of the food white people eat. At least, okay. All right. All right. Now, this young lady has some sense.
Advice to any woman who is currently dating or is just a black woman, if you've never done it, you should try it, but you should date outside your race. Get a man that is outside of your race, whatever your race may be. Just get a man outside of said race. And let me tell you why. There's no arguing about your standards. Like, you do not have to get your hands dirty. If you're the type of woman that says, you know what, I'm not for doing the 50-50 if we live together, they're not arguing with you about that. Like, they will literally go and work harder to make sure that you have exactly what it is that you want. There is no settling. Like, there are certain things that them men just will not allow you to do. Like, they really want you to be in your most feminine era of life. Like, they just, I don't know, they just hit different. And once you get that man that hit different, like, it's no going back. Like, you don't go back. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you just get one and you will never go back to that. Like, it'll just always forever in life be, it just hit different. Like, that's all I can say. It just hit different. Like, just try it. If you haven't tried it, try it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just try it. Thank you, young lady. Some common sense. And you know she's right. Look, I can speak on my behalf. I never thought the 50-50 thing. You know, I just wanted to be married and be with my wife. You know, that's all I wanted. I wasn't thinking about what she could bring to the table. I just wanted her to come to the table. I'll take care of the rest. You know what I mean? What's going on? It's my... Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. But seriously, open up your options. And I would say she's right, because I never thought about what my wife brought to the table. I always thought that was weird to ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? 50-50. Now, there are people that go 50-50 because they want a bigger house, they want more out of life, and they put their money together. They might work hard together, okay? But coming in a relationship expecting the woman to be 50-50. I never thought, if my wife never wanted to work, she don't have to. Okay? And when our children were little, she didn't work. We just went on my income. And I tell you, we had to budget our money and we had to be smart on what we spent it on. We had to budget our groceries, our utilities. But we're able to do it. I was able to provide for my wife and 3 toddler children back in the day. And I was just a soldier. I didn't make much money back then, but we made it work. And now gosh, I mean, neither me or my wife have to work. I do it because I'm trying to build a bigger nest egg for me and my wife. You know, when we get old, I don't want to have to worry about nothing. I don't want to have to worry about bills. I don't, you know. So that's why I continue to work, you know. And my wife works because she has a dream career and that's what she loves doing. But I tell her all the time, if she wants to quit tomorrow, go ahead. But we've worked our whole life to get where we're at. You know. But the only thing I wanted my wife to bring to the table was herself. I just wanted her to be my wife. And that's more valuable than anything. You know? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna be closing soon, but guys, you got people out there that will tell you that will tell black women, when you get with a white man, bad things happen. We've seen the swirling gone wrong, the divestment gone wrong. You know, they find one case out of millions, and they try to project that if you get with a white man, that's what's going to happen to you. And that ain't true. Okay, there are good and bad in all groups. Always be careful, cautious who you date, who you marry. Okay, whether it's same race or interracially, you know, you got to know who you're with. But statistically, black women, white men were doing better than any other group. And most of the time when swirling goes bad is when people don't have the courage to swirl. When divestment goes bad is when people don't have the courage to divest. I'm just saying, swirling gone wrong is when black women and white men aren't able to open up their options. 90% of the time, that's swirling gone bad. Okay? Failure to open up your options and swirl to investment. That's when it goes bad. Being in love with somebody of a different race, but not having the courage to step up to them and go after what you want in life. That is the tragedy of swirling gone wrong. Swirling gone wrong is when the white man does not approach the black woman that he wants to be with. Swirling gone wrong is when the black woman loves that white man, but feels she has to be race loyal. That's swirling gone wrong, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, and look, I don't care who you marry, who you're with. That's your business. That's your choice. I just pray that you make the right decision. And I pray that you're happy and you're able to live a fruitful, loving life with the man or woman that you're with. Okay? Look, I want every marriage to go to work. I don't get excited when two black people get divorced or two white people. That's a tragedy. Okay? I'm not like these swirling gone wrong jokers that get happy when a marriage between a black woman and white man goes bad and celebrate it. That is wrong. That is evil. Okay? I want everybody to do good. But I will tell you the truth. Black women, white men are the best option. Period. In the story. You can look at the stats. The debate's over. Black women, white men, we win. We are the best option in today's world. But I don't wish nothing bad on nobody when I say that. Okay? Make that clear. Hey, Corey, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I meant to do this show last night, but God, I have so many problems. I couldn't get these videos to download, and I just didn't want to come up and just talk. I wanted to show something. And it was just a mess. But I was able to fix it and come up here today.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to counter that swirling gone wrong crap, because what they're pushing a false narrative. Now, there are evil people in all groups. You will find, if you search real hard, you're going to find a white guy doing a black woman wrong. You can find it. But I can find two white people unaliving each other. I can find black people unaliving each other. I could play that game. I could go tick for tat with that crap. Too easy. But in today's world, when it comes to love and marriage, I just, black women, it's in their best interest to open up their options. And when they do that, sorry, I'm glad that cadre with the Obamas is over. Oh, what happened with the Obamas? Did they split? Oh, I heard rumors. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. But I just wanted. Go ahead.
The thing that gets me is how come anybody celebrates two people splitting up?
I don't know. I don't get that either.
Because
Look,
when your neighbors are strong together, your whole village is strong, your city's strong, your state's strong. Why are they celebrating division and destruction? To me, it's a spiritual thing. I think they're ungodly, and they praise that ungodly stuff. They thrive on it because they hate positivity. That their life is so miserable. They only look for negative, and anything positive that they don't like, because they're always looking for negative, they attack it. They just attack everything. It's like a dog biting its own foot.
Wow. Yeah, he's out using Aniston as a beard. Wow.
Oh, God.
You know what? I don't know I don't know what's going on with that. I've heard so many rumors. I think I'll stay away from that. Maybe when I find,
anything connected to Hollywood, I just look at it just like, okay, you got my 2 seconds. Now I'm going to go somewhere else.
Right.
That place is crazy.
I don't know. Maybe Michelle will open up her options. If it's true with Jennifer Aniston, Obama opened up his option. Well, he's biracial. So, well, either way. You know what's funny? My son told me, he said, Dad, he said, you know what? You opened up your options. He said, you know what? Whoever I date and marry, I'm opening up my options. I said, yeah, you are. He was just laughing. Just funny. But yeah, I just wanted to, I see so many people trying to discourage black women from being with white men. There's this content creator, a black woman. She's popular. She's been there forever. And she always talks about interracial relationships. I'm not against it, but only 1% of white men are going for black women, so they're really not into you. And
Is her last name Sade?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, you can have your opinion, but really, you're pushing a false narrative. Like, you know what? And the thing of it is, okay, who cares if it's 1% or 0.75%? As long as you get the best option, you should go for the best option. But it's much more than
white people. They've been pushed out from one country or another of their origin, either through famine, wars, land takeovers of some sort, weather changes, natural disasters. I mean, white people are so mixed now, it's not even funny.
Well, yeah, I look at
what I hear that the community, I got to call it the community because I can't honestly say it's just black folk, because if you look at Africa, they don't talk like this, where they say they want to keep the pure blood. I don't think there's a black person in this whole country that's what they would consider pureblood, because I know I'm not a pureblood. Nobody in my family has ever been. The only thing I'm pure is human.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but this other stuff is just like, seriously?
Yeah. Lisa Moore said, "How would you know it's 1%?" She don't know. It's a talking point. I think it's like a lot more than one. I think I don't know. It's probably like 12%, I would think. But I don't have the hard data on that. But that don't even matter. We're not going for percentages. We're not going for a body count. We're going for quality. You know, Corey, I had a black dude at work talk to me the other day, and he said, he says, okay, you like black women. I see your channel, and okay, I don't care. Do your thing. But did you know there's more black men with white women than white women than black women with white men? I said, yeah, that's true. And I says, and he's with a white woman. I said, while you were bowling for Becky's, I was looking for a wife.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're looking at your body count, I was looking at my quality count. I wanted a good wife. You just want to be with Becky. And I said, okay, you and what's like, that's a flex. Oh, you're with more women than white women than I'm with black. Okay. And that just shows you don't value the white women you're with.
Well, honestly, he doesn't value himself, because he's giving away everything to women who will not be there later on.
Yeah, well, and a lot of white women, and I don't.
You hesitated right there.
Hey, I don't mean to hurt these guys' feelings, but a lot of white women,
hesitation.
They'll get with you and they'll get their kink up, but when it comes to being with you, they'll kick you to the curb down the road. Look, white women have been doing that to white men forever. So they're going to treat black men the way they treat white men.
It's not really something you can flex about, because
anybody
from the white community knows, okay, you're just going to be the next punching bag on social media. You're an idiot.
Yeah. Becky's gone wild. She'll go wild on YouTube.
Even when she's 90, she's going to be, I known a lot of guys. They were jerks. It's like, you knew a lot, or you just opened your legs to a lot. Let's try to clarify.
Well, it just, the thing of it is like, I don't celebrate anybody's divorce. I don't want black men to fail so we could be successful. That to me, I don't want that. I want, if I'm competing to be with a young lady, I want to be the best option. I want to show that I can work the hardest, I can be the best. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I don't want to win on default. You know what I mean? Because the woman will never be totally with you if you win by default. I don't want...
No, because you weren't her first choice.
Right, exactly. I don't want, okay, he sucks, so she's with me. No, I want to be desired, and I want to be the one you just have to be with. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've always wanted, and that's what you need. And whether you're a man or woman, you want that person with you. You want to be their everything, or else it don't work. Marriages don't work because people settle. Marriages don't work because they settle for what they really don't want, because they don't think they could get what they want. And I think a lot of marriages in the black community don't work because a lot of black women settle. They have more education, or there's not enough of black men around, so they just take what they can get. But she'll never be happy because that's not what she really desires.
It's not fair if you're a person and you settled for somebody that was not what you really wanted, you so there's no possible way that you're ever be happy with that person, because now that person is going to be in competition with the idea of the person that you wanted the entire time you're together, and you're going to be miserable.
Right.
It's not that they don't measure up. You will never be happy.
That's true. And like these people are telling black women to date, marry down. When Kevin Samuels came in, there was nothing good about his message. He was destroying the black community by telling black women to settle for less. And the black woman's not going to be happy settling for less. And then the black man ain't going to get the woman he wants, because she's not going to really respect him, because she had to settle. She had to date and marry down. And it just destroys the whole community. Kevin Samuels was destructive. You never tell a woman to settle. And you as a man never want a woman to settle for you. It just creates disaster. She won't love you the way she's supposed to. And you ain't going to love her either, because she's way out of your league. It makes no sense. No other group of women that I've seen is told, hey, you need to date and marry down. I don't see Hispanic women being told, hey, Maria, you need to date and marry down. And I don't see Asian women being told settle. And damn sure Becky ain't going to be told that. I mean, but why should black women be told that? And black women are the best option amongst them all. The whole thing don't make sense at all. But, I think a lot of times black women have such a big heart and so loyal, and it's a beautiful quality. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. A lot of times black women are loyal to their own detriment. And
well, you do know in society that the more prosperous you become, the smaller your circle will eventually, it will shrink down to possibly one or two people. It's all through history, even the greatest leaders of the planet, they all say that. They've all said the same thing. The more successful you become, the smaller your circle gets.
Well, yeah,
it will go down to fraction of what people think are normal. It goes to a fraction of what everybody considers normal. It shrinks to almost nothing.
Yeah. I just think that I think there's so many problems, and I think in our country, in our society, I think more of us got to open up our options, because I look at where I live, and I look at the friends I grew up with, and most of them, they married white women because that's what you do. They went along with the norm. And, some of them thought I was weird because I had love for black women. And, I wasn't the weird one. They were the weird ones. They were following the status quo. They were going with the flow. But do you really get what you want by doing that? I'm not saying a white man can't fall in love with a white woman and have a great life. It happens all the time. But what I'm saying is, how are we really looking at people? How are we looking at what's best for us? And when we say, are we pure? Nobody's pure. White people say, well, the one drop rule, okay, you're scattered European is what you are. And truth be told, we're all connected genetically anyway. So really, there's only one race. So you just got light and dark people. That's all it is. And
yeah, there was a young lady in the chat that come on spewing that stuff about it's not spiritually correct. And I'm just thinking,
what?
Yeah, she was in the chat earlier. She got kicked out by Dustivester.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I must have missed her.
She wasn't around
We had
very
a
long.
troll.
She got the boot quick. I was just laughing. I
Yeah.
just commented to her. I said, "Your racism is showing."
Yeah, just like
Oh,
that
come
one.
on.
That one woman, oh yeah, white men or black men don't really want white women. They're erasing you.
That lady had snakes in her head.
Oh my
I
God!
was just gonna say it. She had snakes in her head.
I
Ooh.
was like, really? That talk about racist. Oh my God! Tell us how much you really hate white people. Like, oh my God! I was just like, wow.
Well, she hates. If she didn't have white people to hate, she'd hate something else. She
Yeah.
likes to hate. Yeah, there's people that just want to see the world burn.
Yeah, she's probably that way. If white people disappeared, she'd find somebody else.
I'll
to
tell
hate.
you, Gadabagaitis. She's the one that booted her.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Yeah,
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. she
Got
kicked
even
her
got
butt,
us.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. I just you kicked her out. Good job. That's.
I didn't even worry about it. I knew she wasn't going to last long anyway. I was just like, whoa, this one's going to get stomped on real quick.
I would have loved to talk to her though, just to have fun with it. You know.
Maybe that was Mr. Carl's sister. Or Clark, Mr. Clark's sister.
Oh yeah, Sister Clark.
Yeah, Sister Clark. There you go.
Yeah.
No, Brett, I tell you, it's a weird week.
Yeah.
There's a 19-year-old white girl, just like I'm 54, and you get this 19-year-old girl. And it's just like, just calm down. I told her, I said, you need to go find your boyfriend. You have a boyfriend, you need to focus on your boy. Good Lord.
Corey, this black dude, right? And I think he's like 25, right? At work. And he told me, he says, "Oh, well, you like black women. Did you know they wear weaves, they got wigs, and their hair is sewn in." It started going in like as if I didn't know. I said, dude, I'm like, what are you, like 25? I said, I've been married to a black woman longer than you've been alive. I've been dating black women before your parents were even thinking about dating anybody. I said, I know more about a black woman's hairstyle than your daddy knows. I said, I know more about black women than probably your grandfather. I said, you can't tell me nothing. And I tell you what, look, the first black woman I dated was 1985. Were your parents even alive? I said, you can't tell me nothing. I said, he was like, oh, you've been married that long? Yeah. And you think if I have a black wife and every hairstyle she has, I pay for. So you don't think I don't know about what black women's hairstyle? I know about the braids. I know about the weave. I know about the front laces. I paid for it all, so I know something about it. But he was like trying to check me on that. Like, dude.
You know what amazes me? That men, male human beings, I don't want to call them men, I want to call them male, are so concerned with female fashion. Now that part.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what's funny is I was like, what was there was a black woman doing a show. She's like, if she's talking about black men, you guys are so worried about a woman's hair and makeup. I mean, do you want to wear a weave and makeup? You talk so much about it. It's just how she said it. It was just like, oh my God. But it seems like when I came to YouTube, I was, before I started my channel, I would go on different platforms and I would see these black dudes complain about weave and makeup. And I'm like, why are they worried about what a woman's doing, right? And that was new to me. Look, I never heard black men complain about weave till I came on YouTube. Is that like a YouTube thing? I mean, my wife's family, none of the men complained. Their wives had weaves and all that. Nobody cared. But I came to YouTube and it seemed like the weave was like they treated it like it was like satanic worship or something. Like it was so god evil. It was just stupid. I just
Hmm.
I don't
Well, you know
know.
what I find interesting is when these black guys are really focused, hyper focused on white women, but the white
Mhm.
women are going out having body balloons put in, lip
Yeah.
fillers, doing everything to try to look like she's, from a different ethnic background, but she's built like, in reality, she's built like a fence post, like a 12-year-old boy. But
Yeah.
she thinks that body balloons are going to give her the shape of a, I don't know.
No,
But that's okay. But a weave on a black woman is bad. But you know what I find interesting too is if you look back in
uh,
history, that in Egypt,
uh-huh.
Egyptian culture, they wore weave or wigs. They wore all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff of that nature.
Well,
But
you look at
you don't hear no shade about that.
right.
Like,
Well, all cultures had wore wigs. Look at America in the 1700s. Everybody, the men
oh
were
Lord.
wearing wigs. I mean, but they don't
Yeah,
go
they
back
look
as
like they were wearing women's hair and women's shoes and
yeah. It
little
look,
tight
it
little
was like,
satin pants. And I was like, oh my God.
yeah.
Y'all been hanging out with each other a bit too long, haven't you?
Right. Like, oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
It's not just I don't get it. There's a lot of men that are way too hyper focused on black women's fashion. I mean, if she belongs to you or she's, your daughter or, something of that nature, of course you don't want her overexposed, because then she'll be over sexualized, period.
yeah, the founding
But
fathers had wigs on. Yeah, they did. And you know
well,
the
yeah, the
wig.
British officers still wear beavers on their head. I mean, come on. Those palace guards still wear beaver hats. I mean, come
Oh
on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's beaver.
Yeah, and I guess you could go over to them and mess with them, and they won't move and stuff. They're like,
Oh,
no,
no, that's why I was just saying any male that's hyper focused on female fashion,
right,
you need to spend more time focused on your masculinity because something's really affecting it.
right. And my thing is you know what? If my wife wanted to wear a wig, a weave, or braided hair, that's up to her, right? As long as she's happy, I'm happy. Um,
Mhm.
I always loved braided hair. I just thought braided hair always looked beautiful on black women. Um,
One
but
lady that's in the spotlight I really appreciate is that she's that black model, Sonia Barbie, because she wears her hair in so many different fashions, and she's an attractive woman,
yeah,
young lady. But it's just kind of refreshing to see because that's kind of like she's pretty, you know.
right.
But no, she wears all different styles of hair, and I seen her walking through. I don't know what country it was. It was definitely in Africa. And this one lady saw her walking by, and she was like, "You go, girl!"
No,
It was pretty cool to watch.
yeah, I haven't found a hairstyle that a black woman wears that I just don't like. I whatever they wear is beautiful. I think weaves look good, and you know what hairstyle I miss, Corey? And there's a woman on TikTok that has a big old fro, right?
Hmm.
And it's long and it just looks beautiful, and you can tell it's healthy and it just I know black women don't wear their hair like that much, but back in the 70s, you remember black women would have a big old afro and people thought it was like military. I never did. I thought it was beautiful. I thought black women looked beautiful with it, the big hair and
Yeah,
stuff.
those people that thought it looked militant were racist.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
I just
just racist. Just call it out what it is. I mean, you watch that movie, Black Panther, where the
yeah.
palace guard, they didn't even have hair. They were still beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is that the hyper focus on women's fashion is just mind blowing today. It's like these men have to have something to ridicule women about. It's like you have
Right.
nothing else going in your life. That this is all you spend your energy on.
I know, right?
Yeah. I feel sorry for the women, but also I have pity for the men because that is pathetic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Anytime I
like,
hear men bashing women, it's like this is all you've got going. God.
yeah, and it's like, and then they get sometimes they get mad. Well, I want women to be all natural and this and that. I'm like, oh my god. I just, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife's done it all. She's with the natural way, the braids, the weave. I mean,
Mhm.
and I think it's all beautiful. It's cool that black women can change up their hairstyle like that. I mean, yeah.
Well, I just think the most beautiful thing you could ever be is your genuine self.
Right.
I mean, first of all, stop trying to please people
Oh.
who don't even care about you.
Oh, hey,
Just move away from them.
black people made Afro political? No, maybe. But I thought that Afro was beautiful. I remember black women back in the day. I was just like, oh my God, that was just beautiful. Like the Foxy Brown look. I just grew up seeing it. Maybe that's why. Well, even the Jerry curl back in the day, I thought that was beautiful. My wife's got pictures of her with
Brent,
the Jerry
we're
curl.
Gen X.
And I tell my wife, let me show him your own picture. She's like, no. Like, and it looked beautiful, and it would certain hairstyles would really grow when she had the Jerry curl. It just like her hair would just full. I mean, my wife's hair grows really good when she takes her braids out. It just poof. And I tell you got to keep it that. No, but yeah.
Well, Brent, we're Gen X, so we're literally
Yeah,
the
we're
breakover
used to that.
between the generation before us. They grew up in that hatred,
Right.
and when we were little kids, we seen everybody as people. I mean, when you were little on the playground, somebody had to tell you you were playing with a black kid because you just saw a buddy.
Right. Maybe if we listen to children, and don't get me wrong in this. I'm not saying take advice on children on everyday,
Right.
but just the innocence of it.
Well, the adults were teaching you to separate.
Right,
The
right.
adults were teaching you hatred. The adults were the cause of all that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to know if the kids hate if you want to know if people hate a certain group, listen to the kids talk. They'll tell the
Oh
truth.
yeah. They'll
You
spill
know what I'm
beans on
saying?
everything.
Oh yeah. And yeah.
Well, because we're Gen X, that older generation, if anybody talks bad about my neighbors or what I find interesting or beautiful, I'm so quick to cut them off. I ain't got time for that nonsense no more.
Right.
It's like you just wrote yourself off. Goodbye. I'm not even going to acknowledge it with an argument. It's just like I'm done.
It's that Jerry curl isn't good for the texture hair. Notice all the black men who wore that are all bald now. Well, I didn't think it. Hey, the women look beautiful with it. The guys look goofy with the Jerry curl.
Well, they look feminine. Just come on and say
Right.
it. They look
did.
feminine.
They
Wearing
did,
women's
yeah.
hair. Yeah.
Right. But I thought the black women looked beautiful with it.
Well, you're not supposed to compete with women's fashion.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it ain't rocket science.
Right. Yeah, I did look feminine. Yeah. It just, I guess I embrace it because back in the day when I was young and dating, that's how women looked.
Mhm.
So I mean, I remember the afro, and I always thought black women were beautiful. So I embraced that. And the Jerry curl, I remember in high school, black women I were dating, a lot of them had the jerk off. My wife had it back in the day. I mean, I just, that's what I remember. And you kind of, you embrace your memories. So maybe that's why I think it's beautiful, because that was a time of my life that I remember, you know, and I embraced that time. I'm not saying I don't like today's time, I do, but you know, when you were young and the whole world was in front of you, and you know, I remember when I dated the first time, and this black girl I was into, and oh my God, it took me, I think, like 5 months to even approach her. And she knew I liked her the whole time. And she said yes. And I was thinking, man, if I would have just had the courage earlier. But oh well.
I don't have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I just visit on YouTube, and then I go about my life.
Yeah.
Sonia's asking if I have Facebook. I don't do none of that.
Yeah, I'm mostly on YouTube. I got a TikTok, but I haven't made a video in forever. I guess I need to go on there and download a video. You know, I like watching TikToks. They're fun. And I use a lot of their videos when I do my show, you know, and just getting people's perspective. Like the videos I showed today, the two women that were, you know, the one was like, well, black women and white men's relationships work because the white man's got money, and you know, if she don't shut up, he'll shut her up. What does that mean?
What?
You didn't hear that?
Ah, that sounds horrible.
No, she was saying that the reason it lasts is because white men have the power, the money, and you know, and if they don't shut up, they'll shut them up, and all kinds of reasons why it works, rather than because they love each other, and you know.
Good Lord, that sounds like some young boy going through adolescent hormone stage, and his voice hasn't changed yet. He just, am I a man? No, I'm a boy. Am I a man? No, I'm a boy. What the hell? No, that's horrible.
Is that Phil Collins from Def Leppard has married a black woman for over 20 years? Awesome. Yeah, you know what? I look at, you know, there's a lot of people I met that been married to black women for like 10, 20, 30 years. I met somebody who's married to a black woman for 50 years. I'm like, oh my God. I thought my 30 years was like a milestone, which it is, but when I see people that have more years than me, it just proves that black women, white men really do complement each other and really are a good fit for each other. And you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. And why should we try to come up with some reason why it happens? Like, you know, just tell the truth. They love each other and they make it work. I mean, nobody can say that. It's crazy. They come up with that. You know, that one was like, oh, well, because they spend money on, what was it? God, I can't even think of the word. You know, with mental health, you know, because white people spend thousands. And I said, you know what? If my family had problems, I'd spend thousands too, because I want them to get better. But don't they have insurance? I mean, but I would spend thousands of dollars to make sure my kids are mentally fit and my wife is. I mean, I don't know if that was like a privilege we had, and that's why our marriage works, because we can spend money on. I don't know. I try to listen to people and try to figure out where they're coming from, but a lot of it's nonsense. A lot of it's just made up crap. You know, but oh well.
Yeah. Well, you know, the world we live in, the trust has been eroded. It's
Yeah.
people don't trust anybody anymore. I a lot of that I think is the response falls on into the responsibility of social media
Mm.
because we are now exposed to some insane nonsense taking place in society. I mean, nonsense on a level that's just like irresponsible,
Right.
and it's praised. They're praising it, and it's the same people are praising it. They're trying to pass it off as it's extremely widespread. No, it's just the same group of people praising really bad behavior. And
Right.
because people that don't do that kind of stuff, don't live like that, they're not going to say nothing. They're going to let the foolish ones run off the cliff together. I'm not going to get out there and get in the way of them.
Right.
Y'all heading that way. I know where you're going.
Mm.
But no, I'm just, because I hear it in the white community too. You hear the white guys talking about all the negative stuff that they think or they've come to the conclusion about the women around them. And it's not holding to just one group of people or the black community, the white community, the Latino. It's literally a mindset, and it don't have a color. An idea is just an open free-for-all. And there's a lot of it going on. It's even happening in our churches too. There's a lot of nonsense going on. Oh,
how about women?
Boy, men and women.
Yeah.
It's like anytime you hear a Christian say, "Don't judge me, only God can judge me," you can get away from them quick.
Right. Well,
just run.
The thing of it is we could look at someone and say, okay, they're not living right. They're not doing something right. And it's not like we're going to bring judgment on them, but we can look and say, okay, what they're doing is not right. So I'm going to avoid doing that and do the right thing. That's a form of judgment, I guess. I'm not going to say, huh?
It's like they're denying the fact that common sense exists.
Right.
Anytime you hear "Don't judge me, only God can judge me," you do understand common sense is real. Honestly, for me, common sense is the Holy Spirit telling me, "Yo, you shouldn't do that." It's like, okay.
Well, yeah, that's like your parents say, "Son, what you're doing is wrong. You need to stop it."
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Dad, don't judge me. Only God.
My dad would say, "You better shut up, or I'm gonna break my foot off in your butt."
Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, I got your attention now.
I won't judge you, but I'll beat your butt, and you tell me if that's what.
Yeah, I'll make another one look just like you. You're replaceable. You know that.
Right.
Oh,
no, but I just think, you know what? Just tell the truth. And you know what? I hate when people try to discourage people just because it's a racial thing and then try to make it political too. And it's like, look, if black women and white men are doing good, why shouldn't we promote it? If they're finding love, promote it. Why do we gotta be with? It's weird, the segregation thing. Like, and I've seen black people say they want segregation, that they want to be set, and I'm like, how is that going to work? How's that going? I mean, we're so intertwined with each other that ain't never going to happen. But let's say entertain that, and we decided to do that. Go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
One group will always outdo the other. And who's going to have the most wealth, the most, who's going to do the best? It's always going to be the majority. Okay. And black people are 13% of the population. Why would they want to go back to that? Like, It never works. In fact, it creates more hate and division, and where, you know what I mean, than us just being together. Um,
But there's
because
one thing I've noticed in life: the one group of people that receive the most criticism and the most depression when they haven't done anything to anyone, those are the ones that get the biggest breakthroughs, the biggest promotions. They get lifted higher than everybody else because they're being literally attacked for no reason other than they don't like you.
you know what? Those are the ones held accountable. And accountability brings forth success. Because if you're held accountable and you know you got a problem, don't you strive to fix it? Strive to be better? Even if you're held accountable and it's not your fault, you strive to fix it. And I think with my father, he was so critical with me. He would never let me have an excuse, even when it wasn't my fault. It was like, come on, Dad, there's no way I could have done that. Oh, I don't want to hear no damn excuse. And I'm like, why did he do that? And it makes sense because once you have an excuse, it's comfort in failure. And even though that excuse is legitimate, later on, you might use the excuse when you're wrong. And I see it a lot of times, like, one guy was talking about marriage rates, right? Long ago, I watched this show, and he says that Black people, their marriage rates are bad. It's because the slave owner didn't teach Black people about marriage. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's an excuse, like, okay, you're blaming slavery on marriage in today's world. And I'm like, okay, you will never get better because it's not your fault. And I hate when people use that white supremacy thing. If you're dealing with a situation where it was white supremacists doing you wrong, I get it. Check it, get rid of it. We don't need that crap. But when it becomes a security blanket, that's when, and I see it all the time where I've seen Black men say, well, because I didn't get the job, white supremacy, because I'm, because of wealth, it's white supremacy. But they don't look at the fact that you came from a single mother where your dad didn't marry her, and that's white supremacy. Like, I just like, I know it exists and I know racism exists, but you call it out when it's there. You don't create more of it. It does nobody no good. It gives you a security blanket, an excuse. Does that make sense? I mean, and it don't have to be a racial thing. It just, if you get used to using excuses, you're not going to better yourself because it's not your fault. If I don't get the job because my neighbor Johnny over here got the job because he had a degree I didn't have, and I say, well, it's because he's privileged, his family's rich, and I didn't have money. That's unfair. So I go and say, well, only wealthy people get the breaks in today's world. I can't get nowhere. Then guess what? It's not my fault. It's the rich people. They have all the wealth, the power, and because I'm a failure, it's not my fault.
Yeah, you got to make a choice to be a professional in business or being a professional victim.
Right. And it's easy to be a victim. There are people. I can look at my life.
It's low effort. You just stand there and whine.
It's just like I know people that are more successful than me, and a lot of them had more opportunities. And hey, that's life. But I still got to do something. I still got to, work hard. I still got to be successful. I can't whine because somebody has it better. And
Yeah,
maybe
we need this Marquee 912 to come up and explain. He's been making comments over here,
no,
shooting shots
if
from
this
the
Joker, who I think it is,
No. Let's invite him up. Throw the link up there. Let's have a conversation.
now you want to deal with this guy? I think who it is.
Well, if he gets out
Okay.
of hand, just dump him. You know.
Okay, we can have fun. Come up here, there, Chicken Little.
Chicken Little.
All right,
well, we can have a grown-up, mature conversation, but we're not going to tolerate
black
childish
people
behavior.
are separating without permission.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they had a
What are
problem.
they separating from without permission? Do you
Yeah,
mean
I
black
mean, you know,
people won't get better without white people?
Nobody gets better unless they do better.
Yeah.
Hello, McFly.
Right.
And you don't walk into a place of business and say, well, this is the way I am because it's culture. They don't give a damn about culture in a business setting. You're there collecting their paycheck. You do what they want.
Let me put the link up here. Let's see if he wants to come up here.
Where'd he go? He just disappeared.
He don't want to come up here.
Hopefully he's on his way up here. We need to talk. Anyway, we'll see if he makes it.
He ain't coming. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you want to hear laughter and scorn and embarrassment. Walk into any place of business and say, well, I'm going to do whatever I want because it's what I want.
He says because white men destroyed black people.
Okay, what about the Barbary pirates on the white slave trade, bud? Let's take a walk through history here.
Yeah.
Give me a break. And the fact that the African continent kidnapped, stole, bought, and traded their own people from their own continent and sold them into slavery.
He says, what do you mean black people won't get better without white people? Well, you can get better without white people. I mean, you can marry the women in your community and get better. I didn't say you can't get better without white people.
Well, nobody's going to get better if the standard ain't set high enough to improve on.
Right.
If you set a standard that's in the ditch, that's as high as you can go.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't coming up. That's Chicken Little. He's a Chicken Little of YouTube. Chicken Little, come up, Chicken Little.
Yeah, he probably works at Tyson.
Yeah, I think he works at I think he works at a convenience store.
Works at KFC. We know. Popeyes? I don't know. Where'd he go?
He left. He just came up to call me racist and left. Okay. Whatever.
Well,
but
I'm like 46% smart Aleck sass, and then the other part of me is all business. So he got me baited, and now he just ran off like a little girl.
I know.
He ran off like a scared little puppy.
Hey, I wanted to talk to him. Come on up here, Marquis 912. You chicken shit. Chicken-ish. I shouldn't cuss, right?
No, don't block him. He might find his courage and come back.
Yeah, let him up. If he comes up, let him.
If he's emotional, he'll go wind himself up. He'll hype himself up and come back.
Yeah. He's a coward.
Anybody that's emotional is already a target. Not just you know what.
Yeah, he ain't coming up. You don't even need the block. He's the kind. He'll make a video about you, talk trash, but he won't come see you on your page.
Yeah, your video will be so clipped apart that he'll make you sound like Hitler.
No, that's what they do, Court.
Oh, yeah.
There's some dudes out there that look. I got one dude that comes that has done like 50 videos on me and chopped it up, and you know, they don't play everything you say, so you get what you. No, they'll take bits and pieces to try and make you sound bad. I mean, This
Well,
dude,
because then brain cells can't process an entire conversation. They can only
right?
catch a
They
few
don't
words. That's
understand
it.
what
That's
you're
all they got.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. The little brain just can't hold all that information.
I mean, I got one dude out there that just made so many videos. He's like obsessed with me. I'm like, oh my god. And
Well, you break out the crayons, and some guys will just eat them.
right?
They just eat the damn crayons. You can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
They eat the whole box.
And then this one dude,
I want some more.
this one dude got like a black man with a white woman and has me on there because I said "damn it" on one of my videos. He plugged that in like I'm against it. Like
What?
really? Yeah. Like I've never said anything against black men dating white women or Asian. I don't care. In fact, I promote it. Do your thing.
In my city, I see more black men with white women, and it doesn't bother me at all. The only thing I'm concerned with is your relationship strong. Are you making the community we all live in stronger? That is all I care about.
Well, most of them aren't making it better. They're
That's why I told her no. Don't block him.
right.
He's gonna go hype himself up. He might go grab a Red Bull or something and come back.
Yeah, maybe.
Am I bad for that?
Yeah. Well, lonely people, they get emotional.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making fun of it, but honestly, I would like to try to help him because there's, the mature side of me, but then there's the other side that's compulsive.
Well, hey, we could help them out, and then
I'm only getting 1 day off a week, so this is my relaxation.
Hey, that's all I'm getting. Look, I was so tired. I went to work. Well, I was going to work. I got in the car and started driving. Like, what am I doing? It's Sunday. My wife's like, I came in the house. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I was going to work. I forgot. Yeah. I was so tired. I was like, oh, thank God I get to go back to bed. And yeah, but
I like driving down the interstate because I got that gold. My niece made one of those Cricut stencils that says Black Betty, and I slapped it on the back of my black Jeep. I like driving that around town and seeing people when they look at it and they walk by. Yeah. I'm an instigator. Sometimes I like to instigate people to, see if they'll provoke or not.
Hey, hello, Victoria. No, it's perfectly fine. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to close this soon. We've been on for 3 hours now.
Yeah, it's 3 hours.
Yeah. Hey, Corey, hey guys, I got a show for next week. This is going to be a fun one. And ladies, you like to go shopping, right? Look, think of next week's show on shopping for the right white man and avoiding the wrong one. I'm going to show you some videos of some white dudes that love black women, but we're going to play a game and see who you would choose.
Oh, Brett, I see the cutest thing on the YouTube Shorts. It's a TikTok video.
Mm-hmm.
This guy had a wad of cash in his hand, and he was walking around looking for a lady to finish out the heart, with the fingers to make a heart. And he went through all these different women, and the last woman he came up to was a lovely black woman, and she made the heart thing with these fingers, and he gave her the wad of cash, but she was standing there, and she's got a Louis Vuitton, she's shopping. There's a Tom Ford sign behind her and all that. I put in the caption, I said, buy that lady an engagement ring. That's a wife material right there. Yeah. She was just a lovely black woman, and she's the one, she finished out the heart. Just a stranger, But yeah, all the rest of them, there was a lot of them. They just walk off, don't bother me, don't look at me, don't talk to me, just on and on and on. It just, I thought it was cute.
Yeah, I just encourage people, open up your options. I mean, and black women have, don't have to just open up to white men. There are Asian men, different groups of men. I mean, the thing of it is women do better when they're the minority, not the majority. And a black woman with open options has more options. She's probably going to end up better off than the black woman that's race loyal, because she has more to choose from. Men are competing for her instead of her competing for men and dating and marrying down and trying to, have the perfect shape and the perfect face and, and having to be the most educated, most everything, and settle for a dude that's just, half-assing it. Yeah.
No, pick the guy that picks you. Don't confuse. I mean, of course you got to vet, but the guy that's looking for a wife, just like Candace Owens' husband, he wasn't playing.
He wasn't. And they had success. And the Supreme Court justice with her husband, they've been married several years. They were serious about their marriage. They took that swirl to investment, and let me show you another video.
Uh-oh. You said you were going.
Yeah, before I go. And this is of a young lady that was in the hip hop industry and opened up her options and married a billionaire.
Your husband. So we met randomly in Rome.
Oh, wait.
I went down for
That's the wrong one, but she married a white guy
breakfast.
too.
Now, meanwhile, this is during a tournament. I never eat breakfast during a tournament. But this time I'm like, I don't care. I just need to get out. So I went downstairs. It was empty. Like no one was there. So it was me and like my trainer and my coach. We were all just sitting at the table. And then this big guy, like this big tall guy walks in, kind of frumpy and like hard.
He's gonna kill you.
Pounding each step.
Oh, but he does not walk like that. He does not walk like that.
And he sits like, he plops down right next to us. And I'm like,
What is this guy?
who is this guy? And why are you here? So we were being the mean team and we kind of were trying to get him away. We told him there's a rat, like to move, be careful, there's a rat. There was no rat. And now we're married, so I don't know.
Where did you meet?
Okay. That wasn't the one I was going to show, but that's a good video too. She was talking about how she married her husband. Let me see if it's up here. I'm sorry.
Husband, you just celebrated your 10th anniversary.
10th
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys met in 2010 and you wrote in the book of him, I've always had this suspicion that all British men think that they're James Bond. Though once I met Maximilian Cooper, I kind of believed that he might be.
Yeah. No, seriously.
What was it about him?
Well, because of the nature of his business as well.
Because for people who don't know, Gumball is this huge race across the world.
Across the world. And right now they are in Asia. It started in Vietnam. It's ending in Singapore.
They're in cars.
They're in cars.
They're not running.
They're not running. Yeah.
Bun B was the first
Bun
person.
B, yes. And Bun B's on it right now. So shout out to Big Bro, Bun B. So the nature of his business, he's just done so much. I'm like, how can you do this? And he is very distinguished. He is a distinguished gentleman.
So is that what caught your eye? Because y'all are a beautiful couple.
Thank you. Yeah, he's handsome. He's good.
What was it? Because you said, British guys all think they're James Bond.
Hey, sorry. Both these women are married to white men. Tamron Hall, you know her. She's married to a white man. And Eve, that she's interviewing, is married to a white man. They have successful marriages. And tennis star Serena Williams is married to a white man. Okay? These people took their swirl to investment. And they're living their best life. They're confident. they're happy. I mean, we can compare it to, Fantasia and what's her name? God. Sorry. but you know what I'm saying, right? These women chose to open up their option. They're finding love.
Because they all have the accent.
Yes.
But you said he had it.
No, he had it. It's that quiet confidence. And coming from hip hop, especially, and coming from the world, not so much hip hop, but just the world I was in, there was a lot of, let me show you what I can do for you.
Yeah.
Let me
Loud
show you
masculinity.
very loud. And it was very quiet. He came next to me and was just like, are you good? And I just felt this.
Was he nervous? Because at the time you were
was
full.
nervous.
Yeah.
But I was too. Oh. We both were. We actually, our first conversation took place. We both just stared straight. I don't think we looked at each other for like the first hour we met. We were just like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, like, it literally, we were both so shy, and I'd never been there before. Like,
What do you mean been there?
Like, in that feeling of like, oh my God, I feel so shy. I'd never been there before. He literally is the first person that ever made me feel that like excitement in a certain way. And plus, I don't consider myself a romantic, so I kind of was just like, I don't know what this is. And he was like, that was love at first sight. I'm like, lust at first sight?
Oh, gosh.
But it was love.
Okay. But both of those are beautiful black women married to white men. They open up their options, and hey, you know what? That's hey, and don't tell me black women, white men don't work. I'm telling you. And you could see the change. And Eve, back when she was in the hip hop and doing her thing, she's like a different woman. I'm not saying she was bad back then. I mean, she's always a wonderful lady, but you can see the change. And you see the confidence. You can, and I think with white men, we're not in competition with black women. So the things that they're strong at, we uplift them. We encourage them, and they encourage us. It's like black women and white men are an awesome team together. And I can say that within my marriage. Like, me and my wife, we love each other. We embrace each other, but we're a team. We make it work.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to outwoman natural woman.
Yeah, if you're doing that, yes. Yeah.
Well, there's the other thing too. The way Candace Owens was talking about her husband, you and I both know that as a man, when you see the woman you want to grow old with because you want to experience that kind of journey,
right?
You have no desire to sample this one and that one and this one and that one and this one and that one. I mean, no, You found what you consider the best, and this is all you want.
Right. And if you are trying to sample, that's just saying you don't really love, you're just feeding lust at that point. And that's what that guy, I told him. I said, well, great, you're with more white women. That just shows you're bowling for Becky's while I'm looking for a wife. And there's a different way it's handled. Now, anybody can get caught up in lust, okay? Men and women desire each other, and, but true love, you want that person. You want the whole person. You're going to sexually desire them. It's natural, but there's a time and place for everything. You want to fulfill love before you go to the bedroom. And I'm a radical, Corey. I think you shouldn't touch a woman until she's your wife. I'm radical like that, And
according to the Bible, if you touch a woman, she is your wife.
Yeah, that is true. So, it does say that the woman you lay down with shall be your wife. Yeah, it does say that. And
look how many ungodly men are walking around out there. And when I say ungodly, I mean they have no fear of God. The Bible says having fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. They have no wisdom. They're basically stupid.
What's that? Eve's husband's not a billionaire, but he is at least a
Decamillionaire.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
That's probably more than a billionaire. He's wealthy. I mean, yeah, that dude's got money like heck. His dog probably has better health care than all of us. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, he's wealthy. I mean, he probably make I don't know who's a rich guy. But I won't say Elon Musk because he's got billions too. He'd probably make who's Kanye West look like a homeless guy with the money he's got, you know. And Kanye West is a billionaire. Didn't he go back to the billions? With Kim Kardashian, he went out of the billionaire into the millionaire. I think he's back in the billionaire. Last I heard, but who cares? But
no, I'm not looking to hook up with Kanye West, so I don't follow him. Well, you know, it's interesting, you know, because, well, you know, I was married for almost 3 decades, and so I still have the mindset of the loyalty that a husband is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I filed for divorce, but there's other reasons. But when you have that mindset, you're sold out to it.
Yeah.
Just like you're sold out to the idea that I am going to be committed because I feel good in that commitment. It's part of you, you know.
Right.
And what we got, the people are praising the negative, like the guy that was in competition saying, I'm getting more Beckys and you've only got one. It's like, dude, you don't understand.
Right.
You totally missed everything.
Right.
You don't understand.
And you'll never be fulfilled because you're just fulfilling the lust. And, you know,
yeah, but that's the world. Well, see, that's the world some people choose to live in. But then you take Candace Owens and her husband, and they are living in the world they chose.
Right. Right.
And you're living in the world you chose.
Yeah, I think they got 3 kids now, don't they? Candace Owens and her husband? I think 3.
Every time you see them on the camera, they look happy.
Yeah.
Isn't that what matters?
That's it. And you can see so many examples of black women, white men looking happy, doing their thing. And, you know, not all of the relationships work. We can find a black woman, white man that failed in their relationship.
Oh, of course.
We can find that. You can find anything you want. But the majority, and you look at the numbers, black women, white men are doing the best. And why is that? Oh, she explains it. Deca-billion is 10, 20, 30 million, etc. Oh, okay.
We used to just call them multimillionaires.
Yeah. I mean, either way. I mean,
I'm out of the loop.
I'll just take 1 million and be happy. I'm not greedy.
Well, not me. I'd like about 800 million. I'd be happy with 800 million.
Oh God! What? I mean,
or 1.6 billion. Either way, I don't care. I think the biggest thing is you're going to go home to someone you love. That's who you want waiting at home for you. But that's the person you want to go and eat lunch with. You know, everybody's got all this stuff so messed up now. And the only thing that matters is, are you happy, content with the person you're sitting next to? I don't care what they look like, but pick the one that just makes your heart flip, you know? If for me, a black woman makes my heart flip. I like that feeling. I don't ever want to go without it.
Right.
The same for you, you know. A white woman don't have that kind of impact.
She don't. And a white woman, and I've explained this, and people think I'm wrong for it, that people ask me, well, why did you go for black women? And people I grew up with, they say, well, there wasn't a lot of black women. Why did you do that? Why did you search them out? Why? And I say there's nothing like a black woman. A black woman's love is, it's like it comes from God. And I say that. And they say, well, can't you feel that with a white woman, a Hispanic woman, an Asian woman? And I say, no, I can't.
They just say, well, some man can, but that man ain't me.
Yeah, some men do. I mean, there's a lot of men out there that they can date a white woman, a black woman, Asian, and they don't care. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as the one you end up is the one you love, right? But that's just not me, and I can't change where my heart is. I can't change how I feel. And people don't understand that we're not all just attracted to a woman and she could be whatever. I know politically correct, that's how you're supposed to feel. And if you're with a black woman, you're a white man, you're supposed to accidentally fall in love with her. No, it's not the way it is for everybody. With me, I mean, I can see beauty in all women. Women are beautiful. But when it comes to a relationship, and intimacy, it's got to be a black woman or nothing. When it comes to love and marriage, it just nothing will work with me.
Yeah. Brent,
yes.
Godava Goddess asked a question, or asked me a personal question.
Okay.
So you're asking, why did I marry a white woman first? Okay. Well, after the divorce, I asked God the same question. Why didn't you warn me? Because I am a spiritual person. His answer was so simple. He said, I wanted you to raise somebody. There's somebody that he wanted on this planet, and I was a part of it. It's literally that simple. And it's kind of funny, but most people, they miss the fact that everything in this earth and on this earth is all about God's business. So what he wants, I just say, okay. At the time, I didn't know. I just saw a hot pink bikini. I'll tell you the truth. I just saw a hot pink bikini. That was it. But in the end, I asked him, why didn't you warn me when it come to marrying that woman or that girl? Yeah. He said, I wanted you to raise somebody. So it's like, I put my hands up and surrendered. Oh, but I did move on. I was the one that filed. This is enough. I'm done. You told me you wouldn't give me any more than I can handle, Lord. This is too much. I had to get out.
Rodney said, I know that Brett is often negatively criticizing nitpick. I just want him to have oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I do get nitpicked. And I'm not always right. There's sometimes I'm off on some of the information. I try to be as correct as I can be. But I would just say with Eve's husband, he's a rich guy. I can't go wrong with that. But yeah, people do nitpick me. They'll say, well, you said this, but this ain't really I had one black dude check me. He said, you said only 30% of black men are married. Actually, it's 32%. I'm like, okay, you're probably right. Okay, maybe
you missed the 0.2 decibel. That's what you missed.
I just say I'm not totally accurate with some things, but I'm pretty much in the ballpark with that. But
she said, she goes, so you were young? No, let me explain. You know Winston Churchill? Well, his daddy received some help on a roadside by another man in their country. After he helped the man, he looked at the guy that helped. Churchill's daddy looked at the other man and said, can I do something for you? And he said, yes, I want you to give my son the same education that you're giving your son. Winston Churchill. Later on, that man's son became a doctor and a scientist and developed a cure that cured a deadly disease. I think he invented penicillin or something like that. I don't know, but he saved Winston Churchill's life.
Oh, wow.
Now, people are born on this planet because they have a purpose, and I actually believe that.
Yeah.
When my God told me that he wanted me to raise somebody, I understand that everything on this planet is all about God. It ain't about me.
Right. Hey, but she said, but that was one white woman, Corey. Maybe there's a better one for you, white love.
Okay, now you're gonna make me laugh.
Hey,
You're gonna make my belly hurt. Don't do that.
Our next show is going to be White Love with special guest Corey.
Shut up. Stop
White
it.
Love.
I want to hang up on you. Stop it.
Come on. Are you down for the White Love, Corey?
No.
You don't want to get you a Becky?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna get on Elon Musk's next rocket to Mars if that's the case. I'm out of here. Beam me up now, Scotty. Get me out of here. I'm gonna go find Uhura. Beam me up.
Yeah, man, that was sad when she passed. She was my crush when I was little watching Star Trek. Yeah. You know what, Corey? It's funny. My daughter asked my mom and dad. She was like, because we had like a family dinner, and she was like, what did you do when you found out Dad liked black women? And my dad said, well, I knew something was going on, so I just got the hell out of the way. I knew it was, and my mom's like, well, that's my son. But you know what? That's the beautiful thing about my parents. They didn't look at it like, oh my God, what's our son doing? It's like, well, my dad was like, he was thinking it spiritual, like it was something that's meant to be, and he just needs to get out of the way. And their thing wasn't if I'm with a black woman, they knew I was going to have a black wife. They just wanted me to have the right one, the one that loves me and I could be happy with. And, not all of us have parents like that just see people like as people like that. And, they welcomed my wife in, no problems. There was never, and beyond that stereotype, like if you get a white man, his mom's going to say something racist and he's going to be weak and not defend you. And, and they're not really going to like you because you're a black woman, and Becky's going, keep you out of the loophole and all this other crap. and the truth is that most white people today don't care. As long as, if you're a good woman and their son's happy, they're okay. That's how my parents were. They, it wasn't an issue that my wife's black or my girlfriends were black. I could date freely. I had that. And maybe I could say how much I love black women and, just say it freely and not care what people think. And some people, I had one guy say, wow, you could just say you love black women and you do it like it's natural. Well, yeah, it is natural because that's where my heart is. It's like we can't compliment somebody that don't look like us.
That's crazy.
Some white men love black women, but they're afraid to admit it. And that is something that pisses me off. And I think, God, how can you be in love with someone and not compliment them? And I know there's black women that feel the same way that keep it hidden too. But, I mean, why not say how you feel? I mean, is it their shame? I was never ashamed to be with a black woman. I always thought black women are the most beautiful, amazing women. And I want to be with the most beautiful, amazing woman. I mean, logically. But I've had people tell me, hey, you know what? I like black women too, and kind of whisper. And I'm like, And I just say it out loud. You like black women too? I do too. Yeah. And they're like looking around like, oh, someone might have found out. And you know what's crazy? I heard some woman talk about this on YouTube saying that, or was it a comment I said, where she said she lived in Kentucky and there's a lot of white men that liked her, but kind of tried to keep it on the down low or something. I'm just like, that's stupid. But I don't know. Maybe it's a family influence that they trying to hide. I don't know. I mean, people are raised weird. I don't get it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and a lot of black women do keep it on the down low, or because for safety reasons. That is true because you know, a lot of black men get jealous of that and will get mad at you, or some, you know, black women do, and black women have told me that it's not that they're ashamed of the white guy they're with, but for safety reasons, they open up their options, you know, in stealth mode, you might say. You know, but us as white men, you have no excuse. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. Just say how you feel. You know, I've told the world I love black women my whole life, and nobody's ever hurt me because, well, no, I take that back. There was one time. Okay, but
was that at that party where you would just?
Yeah, I kind of let them know. I let this angry Karen know how I feel about black women, and I wasn't interested in her, and she took it personal, and the white guys that she was with took it personal, and they kind of sucker punched me and made me bleed a little bit, and you know, and left, and I laughed about it later. Life goes on. That was the only time, though. Any other time, nobody's ever went to, you know, tried to use violence because of that. And beyond popular belief, I've never been in a fight with a black man, except my friend I grew up with, but we were kids, you know, kids beat up each other, and then they're buddies the next day. But other than that,
guys solve problems.
Huh?
That's how guys solve problems.
Yeah, well, it wasn't problem solving with the child. You just play rough, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how we were. You know, we beat each other and we're pals the next day. And now they call it toxic masculinity, and you know, it's just changing the world, I guess. But
yeah, we call it hormones.
Right. Well, I mean, you could look at. I got 2 daughters and a son, right? My daughters growing up, you know, when they're little, they just wanted to be played with, hugged, and, you know, spend time with them. My son, he wanted to jump on my back, get me in a headlock, and like he wanted to fight me. Like he saw wrestling on TV and wanted to do that. And, you know, that's just how boys are. You know, they like roughhousing and stuff. But, yeah.
One time, my brother and I were going to wrestle my dad, and we were young, but we weren't kids anymore. And we broke his leg. And I literally broke my dad's leg on accident. I thought he was going to kill me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was going to kill me. But no, and then I stood there and I'm like, I just broke my dad. Oh, I felt horrible. I still feel horrible every time I think about it. I had him by the feet. My other brother had him by the shoulders, and we twisted in opposite directions, and his leg broke.
Oh,
it broke in my hand. It shook my whole body.
Oh, no.
It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. But anyway, yeah, we never played anymore. That was the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yep. Then I had to face my mom. That was the worst. That was the worst. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, men are men. He raised us to be strong. He should have known better. He raised all 3 of us to be strong. You guys thought he could take us both. It's like, no, don't do that.
Broken bones hurt. Oh God, I've had a few broken bones.
Leg bone. It was above his ankle.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was. I had right where my hand was. It was above his ankle. We were trying to flip him over, but we were going in the wrong opposite directions.
No. So you like?
Oh, it was not good at all. Anyway, sorry about the horror stories.
Okay, well, take it easy. Yeah. Well, I better close this down. We've been 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's been fun. Corey, I thank you for coming up, sir. This has been a awesome discussion, and I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. And my thing is hey, swirling gone wrong is when you don't open up your options. That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
So those swirling gone wrong jokers, they got it wrong again. Swirling gone wrong is when you don't.
Well, you just Candace Owens' husband. When you come across the white guy that wants you, he's not going to be playing.
Right. That is true. And that's the thing. When men like us, we love black women, we're coming for black women because that's what we want. That's where our heart is. Okay. And I think that's one reason why our marriages last longer, because we're serious. And look, I would cast out my family, friends, and everybody in the world for my wife. My wife is everything. She's the most important person on this planet. Okay. More so than myself.
Yeah.
But
just vetting to see if he's serious, and if he doesn't show anything, if he's open, if he's not ashamed to be around you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't be ashamed. Okay. Because if you're ashamed, you don't love that person enough to, be proud.
The other thing is, if he's coming and he's coming serious and you hesitate, you might break his little heart and he might walk off out of respect for you, but you might have missed your chance.
Yeah.
Because men that are focused, first of all, they will respect your answer.
Yeah, they'll take the rejection, and they should. If a woman tells you she's not interested, you turn around and walk away. And you do it respectfully. Don't hate her because she broke your heart, and it happens. We all experience rejection. It's life.
Yeah.
We reject people, and people reject us. Okay, and
if you do reject him and he does walk away, and you did miss your chance, you just blessed another woman because he is still going to find a wife.
Right.
Yeah,
that is true, and it might be that they just weren't meant to be together. Look, in my life, I've dated women that are amazing. But we weren't meant for each other, and we cared about each other, but it just wasn't meant to be. Sometimes it happens. Me and my wife, we were meant to be. There's no doubt. We're so much alike, it's not even funny. We have the same medical problems. We take the same medicine. It's funny.
I was chatting with a lady in South Africa, a really lovely woman, and she's like, "Well," she goes, "I know we're never gonna, become a couple." She goes, "But I'm gonna keep," she goes, "and I know your woman is out there." She goes, "But I'm gonna keep you occupied until she gets here." I just started laughing. She's a real fun lady. But all right, I'm gonna get off here. The stories are gonna keep going.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for coming up, Corey. It was fun, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Guys, thank you so much for this show. I'm going to close this in a prayer. I think I need to pray. I'm going to have a prayer meeting next Sunday, not tonight. But I'm a Christian. That's my faith. You don't have to share my faith, but everybody's welcome here. but to show my love for my God and me being a flawed person that I am, I need prayer. Okay. I'm going to say a prayer. And I thank you guys so much for coming up here. And I appreciate everyone showing me and my wife, Sandra, love. You know, both me and my wife, we appreciate that. And we love you for it. And it means a lot. And I don't take nobody for granted here. It's a blessing. Okay. You guys are a blessing to me. Okay. I don't make a lot of money here, and I'm not looking to. Okay. I get paid with the love and the kindness you show me and my wife. And that's what it's all about. And that's what I'm after. I'm after the blessing. And, you know, I love being with you guys. Thank you, Color Girl. Color Girl, I appreciate that. Humbly, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But I love you guys, and you mean a lot to me. You make my day, and I do apologize for last night. I don't know what was going on with my computer. Had to get a new program to do the show. But we did it today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And those that didn't get to see it, I hope you watch the replay. But I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. Okay. Both me and my wife, Sandy, we love you, and we appreciate you guys. We do. Let me go ahead and say a prayer. Lord, thank you for today being able to have a show, Lord. And I thank you for everyone that's on this channel that shows me and my wife love and respect. I appreciate that, Lord. And just help me to not just provide entertainment or a good show, but, you know, to help people out with their journey with relationships, Lord. And I pray that you help me encourage good Black women, good white men, or good Black women and good non-Black men to come together and find love and find that person that they're looking for, that you would have for them, Lord. And I pray that you bless everybody here tonight, them and their families, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to do this. I thank you for everyone that's part of the Roadrunner Network. Lord, thank you for allowing me to have this channel and to be associated with these amazing, awesome ladies and gentlemen that watch this channel, Lord. And I pray that you just bless them. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this show, and have a good weekend. God bless you and your family. And I'll see you for sure Saturday. And then next Sunday, we'll have a prayer meeting. You know, I just got kicked back, got a little behind because of last night, but, you know, I'll get it together. And anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, and take your swirl to investment. Okay, swirling gone wrong. Most of the time, it's when you don't have the courage to open up your options to the one you love. But have a good night. God bless.